make it happen.
Don't you know that this is the beginning?
Good afternoon and welcome to the MCG in Melbourne. As you can see, it's an overcast day. We've almost reached the halfway stage of the AFL season. It's round 11, Hawthorn and Richmond, and a very interesting match this afternoon with the Tigers inside the 8 and the Hawks just outside the 8. So there's been some rain today, which has probably reduced the crowd slightly for this match this afternoon. It is building up. We're not far away from the bounce of the ball. I mentioned the positions on the ladder at both teams. Hawthorn are the favourites this afternoon, despite the fact that they find themselves in 10th spot, 5. Richmond 6 and 4. They've won the last 3 games. They are on a roll. But of course they are without Brad Altons this afternoon and also Matthew Richardson.
The Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000. Brought to you by Harvey Norman. The new 3-litre turbo diesel patrol. Just wait till you drive it. And the bank that helps businesses make it happen.
Well, I mentioned the weather and the conditions and how that'll affect things. On the match, we'll go down to Paul Couch and get something on the Hawthorn perspective.
Thanks, Hutto, and I got the coach of the Hawthorn Footy Club, Peter Swabby. How do you rate your year so far?
Well, 50-50, Paul, to be honest. You know, we're 5 wins, 5 losses. We've been better in the last month.
How do you think your more attacking styles has helped, do you think?
Well, I think we can kick some scores, which will win us some games. But you know, we probably have got opened up a little bit at the other end, so we've got to keep the opposition from scoring too much.
Now, I've seen Richmond over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Joel Bowden's been very good. Have you got a match up for him today? He seems to be getting too much of the ball.
Yeah, we've done our homework. We think Bowden's a key player, so someone will have the job on him.
And Duncan Callaway obviously on Shane Crawford.
I think so. Yeah, I think you have to be Einstein.
But
but yeah, look, Duncan's also getting a fair bit of the footy too. So we've got to think about that and maybe try and put Duncan in spots where he doesn't feel comfortable either. Although I don't think there's too many with Duncan.
Now, the conditions out there are very wet and slippery. Does it think it favours the Hawthorn Footy Club or Richmond?
I've got to say it favours Hawthorn, but I guess with our taller players, it swings. You know, I think we had an advantage, but it probably swings back a bit Richmond's way. That they'd prefer it to be wet than dry.
Where do you think you can win the game?
Oh, look, you know, I guess you've always got to say you can win the game with the forward line we've got. And as long as we get enough supply in there, I still think we've got the players capable of kicking a score. Yeah,
the on-ballers are certainly a key here. Do you think they're, Nick Daffy, Broderick, Campbell have all been good also?
Yeah, and they're all experienced players now, and, Richmond have been playing well, so we've got a real tough game on our hands.
Now, Jonathan Hayes out, he's certainly lacking a few tools there, Barker, but the conditions are certainly going to suit. Crawford coming in, Smith's got to be a help.
Yeah, and, even Colica gives us some cover down back, but, yeah, Jonathan Hayes is a big loss. But we got Crode. If things get really, really tough down back, we can always push Crody back.
Do you need more from Nathan Thompson, do you believe?
Yeah, Nathan's struggled a little bit. We think today maybe is a chance to see if we can throw him in the ruck and get him into the game a bit more.
Do you think you use Thompson besides Paul Salmon in the ruck?
Yeah, look, I think Nathan needs to have a bit of a run there as well, because he's, as you said, playing full forward, you either get the ball or you don't. It's a bit like that, and at the moment he's probably not getting enough of it in that spot.
All right, thanks, Swabby. Good luck.
Thanks, Paul.
Well, time to welcome Ian Robertson and to welcome the Hawks onto the ground. As we said, it is an overcast day with a bit of rain about. There's been plenty this morning. And Peter Swab and Paul Couch had some interesting things to say. The Tigers also coming out of the ground this afternoon, Robbo. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Hutto. Looking forward to this because both of these sides have promised plenty, and both look as though they may have something to do with the shaping of the final 8 after round 22. But getting back to round 11, I think it'll be a very interesting clash. The Tigers, well, they've shown a bit of strength off-field by suspending Brad Altons. They've lost Rory Hilton, who's been a very good player for them in the first 10 rounds. And the Hawks, they'll miss Jonathan Hay.
Yes, Jonathan Hay out, as Peter Swab said, and also Barker going out of their team and Trelevin injured. Colica, Crawford and Smith come back. How do you think it lines up?
I think pretty good, apart from the fact, there's a lot spoken about Nathan Thompson and Nick Holland and Ben Dixon up on the forward line. but I reckon it's the middle 6 and the last 6 that are picked in the 18 that contribute a lot to both of these teams' performances. It's Bowyer and Vandenberg, and well, Rawlings has had a lot of publicity. Barlow has been pretty good. Tony Woods is a good tagger.
And the Tigers, as we said, without Brad Ottens, and also add Richardson, Miranda, Gasper and Hilton to that list. Evans and James coming into their team. They've won 3 in a row. I guess the question is, can they make it forward with that lineup?
Well, the same thing occurs here with Andrew Callaway contributing, Biddiscombe being pretty good, Clinton King adding, Rogers, Chaffey, Dragicevic, and of course I think Joel Bowden was highlighted in the coach's interview with Paul Couch.
Well, Matthew Richardson, as we said, one of those players, those stars out of the Richmond lineup. Both teams are on the ground at the MCG, as we've seen. Joel Bowden will be a key. Nathan Thompson, a run in the ruck. We'll take a break and come back for the bounce of the ball.
C7 Sports' hot season of Australian soccer, the National Soccer League Final Series.
That is a great goal.
It's the business end of the season, and C7 Sport has the final series action covered with exclusively live games.
Oh boy! What a screamer! Tries the shot. Great effort there. Remarkable. Have a look at this finish.
Catch the National Soccer League Final Series. See more soccer. C7 Sport.
The Nissan Pulsar is so weighed down with extras, it's taken a bridge out, taken a ship out, and caused a blowout. Now, it's having a run out. This is your last chance to get this Pulsar Plus with aircon, airbag, CD, keyless entry, alloy wheels, and a rear spoiler for only $19,990. The Pulsar Plus run out. Hurry, you don't want to miss it.
Go Harvey Norman for the latest in gaming machines. Hurry in for our exclusive Dreamcast bonus deal. Buy a Sega Dreamcast console and play the latest games. Experience graphics just like in the arcades. You can even get on the internet. Pay just $4.99 and get a Dreamcast carry bag valued at $29.95. Plus, you'll also receive Slave Zero valued at $89.95. That's right, the Dreamcast console with bonus carry bag and bonus Slave Zero, all for just $4.99. What a deal!
Football from the MCG today, Hawthorn and Richmond round 11, and you can have a look there at the weather. Still it's overcast, the rain just staying away at the moment as we get ready for this start. 16 degrees both now and the afternoon, and some possible showers. We've seen plenty of them this afternoon. Paul Couch, Brownlow medalist, we've seen him in action already this afternoon. Couchy, good afternoon to you, and who are you selecting?
I like Richmond just because of their on-ballers. Callaway, Bowden's been very good. Wayne Campbell was good last week. Broderick, Nick Daffy, they all love the wet. They had a bit of rain early in the day, and it's just a little bit slippery on the surface. I just think they'll be a lot better in these conditions.
Well, Nathan Thompson, as was pointed out by their coach, he's gone straight into the ruck, so that is a surprise to start the match.
Another surprise, Duncan Callaway's looking for Shane Crawford.
Yes, no surprise there. Rock versus Broderick in the middle. Gale a little hesitant as that first bounce, and
already an infringement in the centre square.
Half went over the line.
So Benny Gale takes it and brings Bowden into the game straight away. Now he goes fairly low and wide. Evans went to ground. It gets through to Holland, who fumbled. Rawlings likewise. Evans. You can see already it's going to be slippery. Barry Young takes it to the outer side, and that's a good kick. Gets McCabe.
Wolsey would be impressed. It was an excellent kick by Barry Young.
Rock takes the mark as they stream out of defence. Chick, who's been a pretty good dashing defender for them for most of the year.
These conditions here, Joel Bowden should have hit the top of the square. You can't go wide on slippery conditions. Make sure you square up, put pressure on the goal square, especially early.
I think we'll see which team adjusts the conditions. Crawford back in the lineup today, gets it high. Salmon. No, Andrew Callaway.
Well, he was sensational last week. Andrew Callaway just pushed his opponent under the ball there. Read it better.
Bowden again.
This bloke gets the ball too much. The Hawthorn have got to really watch this. Joel Bowden is playing very well.
It wasn't a great kick, and the ball over the line and out of bounds. Bowden is, I think, their most prolific kick getter. 243 disposals before this afternoon's match.
And Andrew Lekis has got the job on Bowden. So it should be a good battle, those two.
The Hawks have got black armbands, and I just got an idea, Hutto, that it might be in recognition of one of their great stars of the past, Ted Fletcher, who passed away during the week. Anthony Rock to the left forward pocket area. David Burke gets back and is quite prepared. Oh, that's unnecessary. Umpire probably... Now, David Burke can't afford to do that because he's got crook shoulders.
Yeah,
he's had a lot of problems with his shoulders, hasn't he?
Certainly has.
And if he...
I think it's just slipped too, Robbo, with the ground the way it is.
Well, you're just asking for potential injury there, and it was very ordinary stuff, but he looks as though the ball has stayed in out there on the far wing, and still it's in the field of play. Duncan Callaway to Chaffey. Chaffey for the Tigers, kicks the ball past the wing, punched away. A good punch by Rawlings. Close to the line, Barry Young and Ben Holland, and it goes over. The Richmond interchange, Couchy.
Jacob Sevic, Aaron Fiora, Aaron James and Greg Tivendale.
So a bit of height in Aaron James and some good midfield, smaller type players warming the bench. The kick forward, good mark taken by Young, and another very good kick. 2 out of 2 for Barry Young. Bowyer kicks it forward. It's intercepted, but he gathers again and then kicks the Hawthorn side all the way to their full forward line, and it will be taken through, will it? Oh, only just in the finish by Jason Tawney for a rush behind to the Hawks.
What do you think of the marking contest there at full forward?
I thought David Burke had a hold of Paul Salmon. Just a match up there.
Interesting matchup, isn't it?
And Salmon with his strength, Burke with his agility.
Well, they've got Aaron James on the bench, so I guess he's an option if Burke does prove not to be, well, tall enough, I suppose, for Salmon.
Well, the conditions are going to suit a smaller player down there, Hutto, so whether Paul Salmon stays a full forward will be another thing.
Bowden with his 4th possession already. They've all been kicks. Down to Campbell. Is he out of bounds? He is now. And we'll see a throw in on the wing. So 3.5 minutes in. We've learned already that this game is going to be a bit of a slog. It's going to be slippery. And I guess direct football, or as direct football as you can, should win the day. And not too much over-possessing and finessing. Rock gets the ball back to the wing. Bowyer's been busy so far, presented himself well, and goes again. Well tackled, and he threw the ball away. Holding the ball was the decision, and the advantage is paid. And Knights takes it. 2 kicks out from goal.
He doesn't want to go too wide here. Top of the square is the key.
Holland was the target. He's behind and gets good support. And that's Tallis, who's done an excellent job this year so far for the Hawks, seeing it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a better kick to the top of the goal square, the Richmond player, Matthew Knights. If you go wide, it's easy to punch in these slippery conditions. Take it out, makes it easy for the defence.
So the boundary throw in. Thompson and Holland. Ben Holland for Richmond forces the ball forward. It'll be thrown in once again. Left forward pocket for Richmond. And we're watching there Danny Frawley and Darren Crocker. Peter Schwab, actually, it was. The Hawthorn coach's box as Rawlings clears for the Hawks. Good kick to Dixon, still inside his defensive 50. Goes in towards the middle. Contest there, the ball spills to the ground, and a good tackle provided by Lekas on Duncan Callaway, I think it is, down there on the ground level with the football. Angelo Lekas, the tackler, forces a ball up on the sponsor's logo here at the MCG. I think we've already mentioned about the awkward conditions. Probably the first time the players have had to contend with this. Tony Woods forces it forward. Knockdown was pretty good play there, but the kick forward was errant, and it's been marked by Vardy for the Tigers. Goes out very wide. Tawney has made good position. Tried maybe to get the hand pass away, but good selection there. Ignored Matthew Knights and then kicked it forward. Bit of a mongrel punt kick into the full forward area. Well done by Graham. Kicked it forward again. Bitterscombe gets it back. Chance for Evans. Kick into the pocket, a little too high. Enables Chick to get back, knock the ball away. Harford close to the boundary line in the right back pocket. Good kick too by Daniel Harford. He spotted McCabe about 40 metres further afield. McCabe's kick dropped short.
Good work, Tony.
And some good work there by Jason Tawney. Couchy, you were admiring that.
Well, smart work there. He's played very well the last 4 or 5 weeks, Tawney. Just desperation there to punch the ball out on the ground. Watch the ball.
Both sides pushing extra players back across half-back, so it really is going to make it hard for either team to get the ball cleanly into their forward line. Rock, in a haphazard fashion. There's one of the extra players pushing back, Andrew Callaway. He's going to get a free kick across half-back.
Yeah, you called it right, Hutto, especially in these conditions. It's hard once you're going to play a loose man in the back line there to make the score an open game.
Campbell looked up. He saw a line of Hawthorn players, so he had to kick very long to try and get some one-on-one contests. Chick Lekes, who's getting better as each match he plays. Young has been good so far. And they're out of trouble. Through the middle. Salmon in good position to mark. Good work, though. The Tigers' defence is... it's going to be a Richmond free kick.
Good work, played in front. It's a taller player there, just struggling with the conditions a bit. Slipped a bit, Paul Salmon. Good work by Tawney.
And goes short. Tawney gets back.
He looked nonplussed, Paul Salmon, didn't he, at the umpire?
Oh, he was over the shoulder, though.
Well, Vardy at centre-half back. Again, he's got an extra player to contend with, so he goes wide to avoid him. Goes for Holland. And it's going to be pretty hard to take those marks today. Good tackling. Vandenberg went to ground. Rawlings playing for a free. And the Hawks through Thompson going towards the boundary line. Callaway will let him pick it up and try and win the free for deliberate out of bounds. But we're not going to get too many of them this afternoon, I wouldn't think. It wasn't a bad tactic from Callaway.
Well, Nathan Thompson's playing loose in the Richmond forward 50 there, so it's going to make it hard there. Just putting pressure on Evans to get the ball, and also Holland.
Umpires Brett Allen, Andrew Coates and Justin Schmidt officiating in this match. Daffy gets the hand pass away. A little too fierce there for Broderick. His hand pass gathered by Rogers, Bowden rather, and his hand pass is astray. It'll be thrown in left forward pocket for Richmond.
Probably both sides haven't got a real forward pocket sharp player, you know, especially at ground level to kick 3 or 4. They don't have that. Probably Nick Daffy's the only one on the ground who usually kicks 3 or 4 on the ground. You know, picks the ball up, use it well inside 50. But there's no. The Hawthorn hasn't got a real smart forward pocketer to like a Farmer or a Burns there, just to split the pay-ups.
Mark Dragicevic from that point of view.
Well, also Rogers has a chance also, but Hawthorn are playing too many tools in their forward line, so if it hits the ground, they're going to be hard to kick goals.
Crawford, after one bounce, straightens up and then kicks beautifully onto the chest of Salmon.
The only way they're going to do it is mark like that. If it hits the deck, they haven't got anyone inside 50 there. Ben Dixon's been playing outside 50 and Nick Holland's been playing inside 50 for Hawthorn also. So they've had a lot of tools inside 50, so they have to actually mark it. If it hits the deck, they're going to struggle because Burke's a lot more agile up against Paul Salmon.
I saw them play Geelong a few weeks ago here, Paul, and it was a bit similar start to this. They had the opposition, Geelong had the ball in their forward line a lot, and then when Hawthorn raced it down, they were pretty efficient. I know it's a little bit wetter today, so it'll be interesting to see if they can do the same thing.
297 matches for Paul Salmon, going for goal number 545, and he's nailed it. First goal of the game to Salmon for Hawthorn, and Hawthorn lead 1-1. Richmond yet to score.
It was a great kick by Shane Crawford. He leaned into the space beautifully, picked the ball up, didn't panic, had a bounce in these conditions, which is a bit trying, just balanced up beautifully. Saw Salmon on his own, led out to the right side, and made no mistake in these conditions, which are going to be pretty hard to kick goals. 1-1-7 Hawthorn, Richmond 0.
So the Hawks, the only team to score so far, and Richmond, although having a fair bit of the play, haven't really looked like having a decent shot at goal yet. Campbell gets them inside 50. Let's see if this can be an opportunity. Daffy, he spotted Knights, but Knights had a lot of Hawthorn players around him. One of them, McCabe. Terrific. Rock gets them momentarily out of trouble. Chaffee, who's been good for them this year, goes wide to the pocket. Knights stood up but couldn't take it. Young tapped it back. Knights well tackled. Tony Wood's terrific. Not rewarded, but Knights not given the prior opportunity and a ball up.
Anthony Rock getting a bit of the ball. He's had 5 kicks.
Bowden has had 5 possessions. His opposing player is Angelo Lekes from Hawthorn, so we'll watch that battle with interest throughout the afternoon. Holland did well against Thompson. Quick kick. Gee, I thought it was going to go all the way for a minute there. Hitting Evans on the boot, and it's over the line and out of bounds, and we'll see a throw in deep in attack. A big job for Ben Holland. He should go all right in these conditions because he's a strong player, but obviously needs to be able to hold a few marks, and I guess his work at ground level is where the question will be asked. But he's got over the top of it there, and we'll have another bounce.
Yeah, Hawthorn players just slowing the game down here. They've got Rawlings back there, Thompson who's in the ruck there. They're just pushing all the blokes. Last line defence. Chick's been very good, as Luke McCabe shows his desperation on a few occasions in this first quarter.
Just a little look there of Chris Barlow and Richard Taylor warming the bench for the Hawks in the early part of this game, as it's gathered by Daffy. Shot at goal by Nick Daffy. Doesn't he love that? Goal to Richmond. Goal to the Tigers, a la Nick Daffy. 1-1 Hawks, 1 goal the Tigers.
Well, he's had a quiet first part of the year, Nick Daffy, but these conditions should suit. He's very good in the wet. Ground level plays his go. Just panicked the last couple of weeks just with his kicking for goal. Just relaxed, composed himself. It's a lot better, Nick Daffy, and a good goal.
Well, he's going to have to be good this afternoon, the Tigers, Nick Daffy, because they're going to need him to try and score some goals in these conditions. Should suit him. Hitters come over the top. Harford, as the rain does start to just drizzle slightly here at the MCG.
Yeah, these conditions suit Nick Daffy right down the ground. He's been very quiet, but good snap on goal. I spoke about him. He's probably the only multiple goal kicker, small player on the ground, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Gale did that beautifully well. Down to the man we've been talking about. A little bit of a bounce and a ricochet. Tallis able to clear to the outer side of the ground. Vandenberg versus Chappie. Gee, Chappie under a lot of pressure and couldn't get rid of it cleanly. Vandenberg, he was caught, and that almost could have been holding the ball.
Yeah, that's a good matchup there because Chappie in the last couple of weeks has got a lot of the ball, and Vandenberg's a bit of a stopper, so they put Vandenberg on him. He's a hard worker, tackling, not to get him too easy kicks on the half-back line. He's been very good, Chappie, so that's a good matchup by Peter Swab.
The umpire obviously believing there that he got fist to it. He got the ball away with a handball because he certainly had prior opportunity. And the ball again is over the line and out of bounds.
Just ask a question, subjective, Hutto and Couchy. Would you rather see more free kicks awarded or just let the leave the umpires to it and let it go?
Well, they're just letting it go.
I reckon it's better, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you think,
Let's
Hutto?
get it out and open clear.
Yeah, I do, but the rules still have to be applied. And I think common sense should always be the main thing that's applied, and consistency, the old things we talk about. So 1-1-7 Hawthorn, 1 straight 6 Richmond. And it's a pretty interesting arm wrestle at the moment. Crawford has had 3 possessions so far, so he's looked okay and he's come back. Campbell, Woods, they're going to fight for that. Certainly on these sort of days, Robbo, you know, we do have to let these packs go and eventually the ball might come out, but there's going to be a lot of ball ups, isn't there, throughout the afternoon?
Well, you shouldn't have 30 players around the ball because in slippery conditions, if it hits a footer, I think it just bounces out. And if you're on your own one-on-one, you've got more of a chance of getting it. Like you can't get it when there's 20 players around the ball. You've got 1 in 20 chances. So you stay out a bit wider, get a one-on-one, you've got 1 in 2 chances of getting it. So conditions like that, if you see packs, you've got to spread out, make it open, and just get more of the ball. It's just common sense. These conditions are beautiful because everything's predictable because the ball bounced straight through the whole way.
Good for you, was it?
Oh,
You enjoyed this, a day like this?
Yeah, beautiful. Because you can make space, because you can balk on conditions like this. All you have to do is slip your opponent and you've got space.
Well, Richmond have got a little bit of space. Clinton King kicks it forward. Wasn't that great? That was terrific stuff by Tallis. Got the hand pass away. McCabe kicks the ball towards half forward. Big punch came from Vardy. Knights to mop up. Terrific kick by Matthew Knights. You say that week in, week out. It's pretty normal for Matthew Knights. Daffy. Oh, spectacular leap and mark to Mark Graham. And he kicks it out wide. Spot 7 and puts it on the chest of the big fellow on centre wing. Wasn't it a great leap by Mark Graham?
Great leap. Had the sit on him, and just the ball sat in the air and he just take full advantage of it.
Thompson's gone forward too, and Salmon now back in the ruck.
Short kick has found Tallis. Tallis in towards half forward. And the mark is taken by Leckus. Leckus for Hawthorn. Goes in short. And well done, Joel Bowden. Thompson was the big player coming from behind.
Sensational there. Just went into the space. They knew he was going to be in trouble. Great work, Joel Bowden.
Leon Cameron across the full-back line. Has he kept it inside the boundary line? He has, maybe by just centimetres. And we'll have it. What a terrific leap, wasn't it? He had to sit and... he did everything right, Mark Graham, and took the mark across that half-back line for Hawthorn. Boundary throw-in, left forward pocket for the Hawks. Kicked out of there by Bowden. Left behind by Bowyer. Gathered by Crawford. Handball McCabe. Well played Barry Young. Got away, slipped the tackle, then kicked the kick. Just a little interception. Nick Holland, well tackled by Vardy. All fair and above board. Bowden, they're under pressure at half-back. Now Brendan Gale out wide has found Andrew Callaway. He's just outside his defensive 50.
Gee, both sides working hard here. It's hard not to be impressed by Richmond. These lesser light names that really haven't got a big profile. They work so hard. That might have been a high tackle on Crawford. No. McCabe takes it away from the wing to centre half forward. Sets it up. And again, the Richmond defence up doing the team things. Getting the spoil, getting it to Broderick, getting it to Campbell, and getting it through the middle. Campbell will go again. And it could. He's got a man loose. At half forward, Rogers.
Just slipped his player there. He was guessing where the ball was, his opponent there, and a Hawthorn opponent there.
Well, they look at each other, Tallis and Bowyer. Two extra players down, or one extra player, and neither of them, you can see them there, neither of them were on Matthew Rogers.
And what they did, they guessed where the ball was going, Hutto. They thought it was going the top of the square there, and Rogers slipped and made a strong, hard lead and deserved it.
Dragosevic on and Bitterscombe off for the Tigers.
Probably a good move. Let's have a look from 50. That is a good kick from Matthew Rogers, straight through the middle. So the Tigers get 2 goals after the Hawks kick the first 1-goal one on what's going to be a fairly low-scoring and tight affair, you would think, this afternoon.
Well, Campbell and Broderick brought the ball beautifully in through the midfield there with the old 1-2 there. Good punch by Vardy.
Well
sensational,
Campbell,
just yet. But just a follow-up again, second effort, and spotted Rogers, who then goaled for him. Great work, Richmond.
So Daniel Chick manning up on Matthew Rogers at the moment. Rogers, the goal kicker. Rock not able to get the ball clear. Still very much in dispute. Broderick tries to hack it out of there. Brendan Gale confronted by Bowyer. Gathered by Tony Woods. He kicks the ball across his left shoulder with great effect, actually. The ball at half forward. Crawford looks as though he's a man on a mission. Handball over the top. Chance for Nick Holland. Kicks into the pocket. Bouncing awkwardly and trying desperately to keep it alive was Thompson. David Burke there for Richmond, and the umpire gives the all clear for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, that is not deliberately out of bounds. Have a look at this.
I thought it might have been out in the first place, Hutto. It was line ball.
It couldn't be more obvious, could it?
Could have nearly been declared a throw.
Yeah.
Looking at the MCC members from the ball.
Tawney to Gale. Gale straightens up and kicks it high out towards the wing. Up high was Rawlings, couldn't control the ball. Knights does nicely, back to Daffy. Daffy, little kick, very good, Nick. Gave Rogers the chance to take the mark and play on. Kicks it high towards half forward, 1 on 3. Evans, the lone Tiger down there. It's mopped up at the moment by Graham. He was fortunate, had a little bit of space. He can go in towards Woods. The hand pass goes to Bowyer. Bowyer out wide, and the mark taken out there by Harford. Very clever little midfielder, Daniel Harford, and puts the little deft left foot kick onto the face of Nick Holland. He's about 65 metres from goal. Hawthorn go into attack. The Holland kick will land at the front of the square. Very difficult to mark those. It's mopped up by Leon Cameron.
And he mops it up pretty well. And again, Chaffee involved. Bowden on the end of it. Richmond have done a pretty good job here, but just moving the ball into attack is probably where they need to improve a little bit. Tawney on the end of that one. There's a little shove from Chick, but it was okay. Takes the mark and gets it to Woods, who gathers nicely on the attacking side of the centre. Goes long, plenty of extra Tigers back, making the job difficult for Crode. Bowden it was, who takes it away. Just missed his target. They've got the numbers if the ball will hold up. It does. Tivendale, who's on the ground, keeps it in. This is where they've had a bit of trouble because they haven't been able to get it through half forward with the extra defenders back across half forward and the ball over the line and out of bounds. They need to be pretty precise going in, Couchy, before kicking long, I think.
Well, it's pretty hard when you've got a bloke like Paul Salmon dropping back into the forward 50. They're making hard 2-on-1 against Brett Evans, so he's going to have a real battle today. You've just got to go 1-on-1 all over the ground if you think you've got the better attack.
Salmon doing the ruck work for the Hawks. Daffy tries to get it for Knights, but...
And what I mean by that is it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game if defence is going to win this, and you've got 2 against 1, it makes it hard. You easily feed the ball out, then the other bloke gets it down the other end like it's a 0-all draw. So you've really got to be 1-on-1 all over the ground and let the Richmond look more dangerous in attack because of their players of Daffy and Broderick have been very good in Campbell.
Did you have any sort of an aim in your day as to what sort of goal tally you had to kick today to win a game?
Actually, we played pretty well in the wet. If we had 15, we'd win the game.
Yep.
But Blighty would never let a loose man in our forward line because we had the most dangerous forward line. So we'd always have a player on, player all over the ground.
Yeah, well, it's Nick Daffy attempting to give the Tigers a chance to get their 3rd goal on the scoreboard. But the Hawks, Rawlings, kicked Slews off the side of his boot and just kept it inside before it bounced over for a throw-in about 50 metres around from the Richmond goal.
Even if, Robbo, we had 30 players in our forward line, we'd still have to have 15 each. You know, you just got to have one-on-one. It just makes it so difficult to score.
Did you pick 15 blokes up all at once, Couchy?
Oh, well, I'll struggle to pick up one.
Good on you. Now, Woods, gee, that was severe. Rogers, that's over the shoulder against Barry Young. Play allowed to go on. Tivendale, well done. Campbell will straighten up and kick a goal, won't he? Wayne Campbell hits the post.
Well, Campbell's had a bit of the ball. He's had 8%. And their on-ballers have been very good. He's had 9 up against Angelo Lekas, who's only had 1 possession so far, so he's winning that duel, Joel Bowden.
They're a bit lucky there, weren't they, Hawthorn? Because that definitely appeared to be, if not 1 high tackle, then 2.
Barry Young limping.
Rawlings brought it in. Tallis takes the mark. Barry Young coming off the ground.
Important because he's manning up on Campbell and play goes on.
Oh, that was pretty strong by Bowden. Tony Woods, I think, might have the job on Bowden now. The ball through the middle. There's Lekas. Getting it to centre half forward. Dixon the target. Thompson was down there as well. Came through. Gee, young Vardy, although his handball wasn't all that good. It opens up for Crode, who takes a good strong mark and should convert to level things up here at the MCG.
Yeah, he had to sit there. He was in front, and that's what you can do on wet conditions. The ball will drop quickly because the ball gets a bit heavier, so you've got to play in front. Any stoppage on play in front all day. Even your half-back line's got to play in front. Just his great reach there. Mark the ball at its highest peak. Good mark, Trent Crode. A little bit stronger than Andrew Callaway in that bit of play.
So Trent Crode. And kicks well. So scores are level at the MCG. 2-1-13, both sides. And it's a decent old struggle at the moment, that's for sure.
And it's going to be like that if you've got loose men all over the ground. Vardy probably should have went for the quick kick to the boundary line there. He's played very well on Nick Holland. He's done a good job because they're certainly missing Darren Gasper, who usually plays at centre half back. He's done a pretty good job. He's giving away height, good mark, and good goal.
He's become their highest goal scorer for the year for the Hawks.
Peter Schwab, Kelvin Moore. It looks like Jason Dunstall too in the coach's box for the Hawks. Scores level, 3 minutes left in the term. Campbell, Woods, little tap out was eventually well played by Salmon, and Hawks get it up towards their half forward line. Contest here. Bowyer tries to keep it alive. In support was Lekas. Bowden there for the Tigers. It'll be thrown in just forward of centre wing, favouring Hawthorn. Hawthorn 2-1, Richmond 2-1. Goals for Richmond, Rogers and Nick Daffy. Goals for the Hawks, Paul Salmon and Trent Crode. Nick Holland gets rid of Brendan Gale, and the umpire has called for a bounce about 75 to 80 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. Aaron James has come onto the ground at the expense of Evans, and James may be going into the ruck. Gale contesting that bounce. McCabe squeezes a left footer out up towards the half forward line. Good contest provided there for the Hawks at half forward, but Burke and Knights combine. Little kick by Matthew Knights. Aaron James into the play straight away. Callaway, that's Duncan, to Vardy. Kick smothered. Good gather by Dragicevic coming off the interchange bench. The kick pretty well ineffective. Dragicevic and Colica. And the ball over for a boundary throw-in.
Well, one bloke who's done very well is Royce Vardy. He's playing at centre half back up against Nick Holland. Nick Holland's only had 2 kicks. It's probably not the conditions that'd suit Nick, but Royce Vardy's done a great job on him. James
doing the ruck work. Close to the boundary line. Free kick kicked out. Going to Aaron James. Well, he'll go back. He's got Ben Holland at full forward, manned up down there by Graham, and Ben Gale has pushed to full forward as he suggested, Robbo. Gale will be the target. One-on-one with Rawlings. In good position, Benny. Was crunched. Play on. Numbers with the Hawks. Lekas cleaning up. Gets Rawlings. And into the back pocket, he'll send the ball where Joel Smith. Interchange benches on both sides, working over to Smith, who's going to be one of those players I think that Couchy was talking about earlier, a crummer for the Hawks when he pushes forward. Callaway sees it over the line and out of bounds.
Yeah, the good shift of putting Brendan Gale at full forward. Brett Evans just didn't look dangerous enough down there. They didn't look and Mark Braden was doing a great job on him, so they look a little bit more dangerous now, the Tigers up forward.
Well, I guess James will just be hoping to break even in the ruck and provide a contest and hope that they can get it down to Benny Gale. Of course, no Brad Ottens this afternoon. Was that a throw? Flicked back from Salmon, went to Tivendale's advantage anyway. Tigers, good contest. Got numbers at ground level. Chick gets there. Rogers off the ground. Well, it wasn't a bad idea. Ben Holly threw it back in.
Threw it back in.
And probably wasn't great thinking anyway, because the numbers appeared to be with Hawthorn. But I guess we can forgive him.
Got someone hurt?
Daniel Chick.
Well, Daniel Chick's been hurt.
He's got a bad ankle.
Most weeks, hasn't he, with his ankle? And those ankles can hang around for a very long time, Couchy.
Yeah.
The ligament damage in the ankle.
His ligaments are that loose that just rolls over, just naturally needs to be up, and look, at the end of the year, he'll probably have an operation just to tighten those ligaments up. So he's just going to have problems all the time with it.
Precision kicking by the Hawks, get the ball just outside their defensive 50 in the hands of Salmon. He goes short as well. And Nick Holland's come a long way down, hasn't he, to get a possession. He's at probably right half back. Kicks out towards the wing, and a push out against Leckis. Free kick goes to Joel Bowden. Umpire in a pretty good position to make that decision. Bowden, good kick too. Onto the chest of Ben Holland. He runs and plays on, around onto the favoured right, and kicks it beautifully in towards full forward. No mark, but Crummer, Dragosevic, left foot kick has been well gathered by Smith. He can break to the far side. The player out wide is Vandenberg. He can steady, get back onto his right, kicks the ball in towards half forward. Nick Holland presents himself and takes the mark this time in front of Vardy.
10 seconds to go in the quarter.
So have the Hawks got the chance to score? Holland's kick would have to hit someone on the chest. At the feet of Thompson made it difficult. Burke gets back for the Tigers and runs the ball out. And the siren has sounded here at the MCG to end proceedings. First quarter, Hawthorn 2-1, Richmond 2-1. Goals for the Hawks coming from Salmon and Crode. Goals for the Tigers, Matthew Rogers and Nick Daffy.
Well, as you see, it's a 0-0 draw, and that's what's going to happen if you've got loose men in either forward line, making it very difficult for both sides to score there. Joel Bowden's been very good once again up against Angelo Leckis. He's really shown him a clean pair of heels. Nick Daffy's been good. He's had a struggle all year. He's had 7 possessions, 5 kicks, 2 handballs and 1 goal just in around the forward line there. Rogers is their small crumbing players. So both their small crumbing players have kicked goals, and Salmon's kicked one for Hawthorn, and another marking target, as is Trent Crode's another marking target. So two different sides doing, one with crumbing and one with marking. So look, it's going to be a hard game. It's going to be a struggle in these conditions, and they're working very hard. Hutto.
So quarter time, scores level, 2-1, 13 apiece. Back for the second quarter in a month.
Round 12 in the Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000.
Big leap and mark.
Friday night live at 7:30. Powerhouse Essendon take on a struggling St Kilda. Saturday night live at 7:30. North meets South when Adelaide clash with Sydney. Sunday at 11:30. Lions battle Tigers. With the Bulldogs Melbourne confrontation Sunday live at 2. Then Sunday night at 10. The West Coast Carlton encounter. See more footy. C7 Sport.
To me, the stock market is a sea of numbers, where from only $29, Commonwealth Securities make trading shares on the internet really cheap. I was small fry before the bank's margin loan boosted my buying power. Working as a storeman is just a means to an end. It won't be where I'll be in the future.
Whether it's shares, managed funds or margin loans you dream about,
This is where I'd like to be.
make it happen with the bank.
World champion in a row, Green Beachley of Australia.
It doesn't get any better than this. It's just as special as the first one.
Brad Ottens is watching on. He's not going to play in the VFL or the reserves this week after being suspended. He has an ankle injury, but suspended by the club during the week. They could do with him this afternoon, I think, gentlemen. It's going to be a real struggle as we look at the Mitsubishi Motors match stats.
Well, Evans up at the forward line for Richmond was really struggling. Mark Graham was the real key down there, playing very well, and that's where Brad Ottens should be playing, and Brendan Gale into the ruck. So they've got two tall men, and you can have your on-ballers going through there with Nick Daffy and Rogers, but they haven't got that today. And look, the smaller players, Rogers kicked one, Daffy's kicked one, but it's a dead even as a stats show.
I think the indication is that where the only time that we saw a player in the midfield get clear in the first quarter was Shane Crawford putting it on the chest of Salmon and a goal resulted.
Well, the two marking players in Crode and Salmon have kicked 2 goals, where the Crowing players, the Richmond players, as soon as they get down there on a stoppage on play, they look a little bit more dangerous. But when they're coming from the back line in, they don't look as dangerous, because that player like Paul Salmon playing deep in their forward lines makes it very hard. 3-on-1 sometimes Evans had to beat, so that taller player of Gale should help.
And Campbell, when he set it up to give Rogers the chance to get the goal for Richmond.
Well, we know how smart Campbell is. He second effort there, gave the handball, followed up and got it again.
Holding the ball, you know, by doing that little one-on-one that he did, does that give the forward the chance to slip his opponent like Rogers did do?
Especially on conditions like today, because you can get space because the ground is slippery. So as soon as you get rid of an opponent, you know you've got space because he's slipping behind you too. If you keep your feet and your balance, you've got a better chance, especially on ballers.
So we're underway in the second quarter. Gale and Salmon contesting the ruck. Clinton King got the quick kick out. McCabe versus Knights. Gee, terrific hands from Knights. Campbell just that automatic quick kick. Gets them forward. Rogers got to the contest. Couldn't take the mark. Daffy, can he kick his second? Made good contact and does kick the goal. So first goal inside 30 seconds. High fives all round in the crowd. And the Tigers, Nick Daffy kicks his second.
I reckon that was a great one-on battle there with Daniel Chick and Rogers. I reckon he punched the ball, angled the ball towards Nick Daffy. I reckon it's sensational. Here he is. He punches to that side to him. Very clever play by Rogers. Picked up a good snap by Nick Daffy for his second goal. He really comes into play in these conditions.
Well, if you're right, if he did, that was absolutely sensational.
A fair observation, though. Fair observation. We'll give him the credit for attempting, anyway, to try and give the opportunity for Daffy. It worked out all right. Daffy got the goal for the Tigers, and a terrific start for the second term. But now it's the Hawks through Crawford. Tries to lure and then hand pass over the top to Taylor. Taylor into the forward pocket. Oh, good strong mark by Thompson.
And that all started the centre square there. Richmond had all their players at the back of Brendan Gale. He should always have one at the front there, and was made an easy get for the Hawthorn players. Salmon there just to tap the ball back. There was no one on him, and just a centre square clearance where it shouldn't happen. You should have one at the front of the play there, and they didn't have it, so they easily got it out to Thompson.
Thompson, he's hard to beat. Big, strong, raw bone, and in front of David. Has taken the mark about 45 metres from goal. Got to be careful he doesn't get too close to the man on the mark, and he kicks it to the square at the back. Bowden concedes it behind to the Hawks.
Does he get that counted as a stat?
Rush behind, I think, but it was a good kick.
It was a kick, but it was ineffective. It gave a score to the opposition, and Leon Cameron will bring it back in for the Tigers. We'd be very happy now if we could get away with a rain-free rest of the day, I would think, because both of these got some exciting talent, marking talent, and that's one of them for the Tigers, Ben Holland. Up over the top was Rawlings. David Burke to Crum, confronted by Barlow, shrugged the tackle, but in the umpire's mind out there, he ran over the boundary line, so it will be thrown in.
Free kick.
It's given away because he threw the ball away.
That was just undisciplined.
So Barlow kicks the Hawks up towards Crow. At the back is Andrew Callaway. Slips over, confronted by Taylor. Still a chance for the Hawks. Crow gets it down to Vandenberg, runs into trouble.
Ball just inside 50. It's getting pretty fierce. And they're going down like 9 pins, both on the field and off the field as well. 3-1-19, Richmond, Hawthorn 2-2-14. How you going there, Robbo? You recovered?
If I'd have sneezed, I'd have blown you out of the box, Hunter.
Vandenberg who was involved in that.
Vardy was sensational there.
I wonder if David Burke will stay on the ground for much longer. I wouldn't think so. Crowd pretty well involved there. Richard Taylor, couple of good touches since he's come on. Salmon, oh, did everything he had it spent. Quick snap at goal.
Leckers it was.
Just across the face. Cameron didn't take the mark. Burke has to do something very good to try and stay on the ground. I don't think he'll get time. Cameron feeds it on the wing. They've got the loose man. It's Dragicevic. Can he go all the way? I reckon he can go to 50. Oh no, he fumbled it.
Run down.
Oh, hold the ball.
Yeah.
He just didn't have anything. Just a match up there with Evans down there in the full forward line with Mark Graham. He just wasn't confident enough in him just to kick the ball to him.
Another good chase though, wasn't it, by we've seen that over the few weeks. Michael Collicker never gave up at any stage.
And what a pity the ball didn't bounce back up to Dragicevic too, because it would have been exciting to see what he could possibly have done. Taylor, as I said, some good touches since he's been on, and he just got boot to that one. Bowden takes the grab and gets it out wide. Campbell, Leckers, Taylor again. Oh, it was a bit ambitious from Barlow.
Oh, sensational.
His just vision of an awareness, I guess, more than anything, of where his opponent was terrific. Here's Dragicevic again.
Will he bounce?
He'll learn his lesson this time. And unfortunately, the long kick wasn't a great option that time. And Evans went to ground anyway, but he had two to beat. Rawlings, Graham, and now Salmon combining. And they should get out of trouble through Daniel Chick, and then they've got the loose man going on the wing. Callaway made probably the wrong decision. Left half of the lane. It won't hurt him in the end. It might now, though. Joel Smith gets it to Harford and half forward. Callaway bearing down on Daniel Harford, who's been very quiet. So Callaway,
he's got him.
It's another stitch-up job from Duncan Callaway. Barlow's kick, terrible in the end, run down by Cameron. Plenty of loose players from Richmond the other way. Cameron is always precise with his kick, and he gets Benny Gale and now Bowden, and they're out of trouble again. Yes, Ben Holland can take it, and he can get Rogers. Now he goes for Dragicevic. This time he's got an opponent for the first time in 5 minutes. Goes in after a Daffy, just playing for the free kick.
Legged.
And didn't get it. The ball along the boundary line.
Taylor again.
And Tallis again involved in a good kick. Oh, Leckers.
Took his eyes off.
Yeah, crucial fumble. Woods did well to elude and get the left boot to ball. Joel Smith bearing down. Got the handball. High tackle, free kick. Goes to Andrew Callaway.
The Hawks will look at the last 4 or 5 minutes, Couchy, and wonder their kicking ability has let them down, hasn't it? 2 or 3 times missing targets and not effective. So Leon Cameron to Brendan Gale. Brendan Gale just outside his defensive 50 has found Tawney. Tawney goes in towards half forward. Good defensive work by Chick. Tallis there to help out at ground level. Collicker leaves it behind. Dragicevic, Daffy, but Taylor. Taylor's had about 6 possessions since he came on the ground. Crawford slipping over. Very important too, because Tawney able to keep his footing. Kicks the ball in towards half forward. Contest in that pocket area. Graham, Dragicevic, Aaron James, Collicker. Now Rawlings handballs it further forward to Tallis. Tallis goes in towards the middle, punched away, and the Tigers at ground level. Daffy, too fierce and severe there for Tawney. Gathered by Harford. Very good ball handler, Daniel Harford. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Leckers, contest, all fair and above board. Harford trying to make up for that pass. I did it well. Daniel Harford, influential in that passage of play for the Hawks.
Sensational second effort. Followed his kick up from the back line there. Just worked and worked and worked. Went hard at the ball up against Leon Cameron. Deserved it and squared the ball up beautifully under pressure. Nick Holland, great pass. And another mark to the tall forward line of Hawthorn.
Down the other end, Aaron James is back on. And I think Evans off. So I think that's a move they had to make.
Holland goes for goal and posts it. It's a...
So just great work by the Hawthorn little men there. Richard Taylor's been influential in the first 7 minutes of play here. Harford's been very good also. And Holland leading, staying right back into the goal square there. Just pushing forward and leading into the space. It's good work there. Richard Taylor's had 5 kicks in this second quarter. It's been very good.
So 3-1 to 3-2. Hawks in front.
Eight minutes of play in the second term, and Richard Taylor has had 5 kicks in those 8 minutes.
Free kick this time going Hawthorn's way.
Joel Bowden went over the line.
How do players do that in this modern day?
Well, you shouldn't do it. It's a sin.
Salmon up to 50 and inside 50. Suddenly they look dangerous. Holland was attacking. Chappie did well. Callaway clearing kick. Fairly clever. Towards the boundary line. Dragicevic kept his feet well. Had the little sideways glance. And then went, perhaps he should have been looking further forward. Holland was quick with the handball. Daffy, what can he do with it? James got to beat a couple here. Contested really well. Did very well, Aaron James. Couldn't kick the goal. It does tie the scores up.
And they needed a bit of height in the full forward line there. Evans has gone just too small there. Up against Salmon and Graham, just too small. He's had to do battle against 3 against 1 there, and James did a great job there. Also 3 against 1. Just a little bit of height there. Worried the Hawthorn defenders more than Evans was at the time. And Dragicevic's been very good in this third quarter, getting a lot of good crumbing balls around the half-forward line.
At 4 kicks, Mark Dragicevic is now. What's happened here? Is he taking too long?
Yeah, too long.
After the warning, there wasn't much time.
No, I think he went out of the square. I might be wrong, but
I thought the whistle went before he even kicked it.
Yeah, well, it probably did. You might be right, but
anyway, the umpire's going to bounce it right at the end of the square. And Aaron James, gee, he nearly got his foot to it. Ben Holland, Matthew Knights, watch this. Still got it. And we'll set it up for a Tivendale goal.
Sensational.
Matthew Knights.
Found the man on the left foot too, didn't he, in Tivendale?
But what about, I mean, there are only a certain percentage of players in each team, Couchy, that have got the presence of mind to hang on to the ball and not give it up, cough it up into a disputable position. And Matthew Knights did that
well,
there.
You see there, just there in that play there, Matthew Knights is out in the perimeter all by himself there. Taylor was out, half of it was out, and just a good kick by Tivendale to snap a goal.
Well, Tivendale with 4 possessions, he started on the bench, but more importantly, with his 3rd kick, he's kicked Richmond's 4th goal, and the Tigers lead by 6 points.
And it came from another one out of the middle. The last free kick was controversial. We'll see if we can get a replay of that up at some stage in the next few minutes to go back and see just what happened with Luke McCabe. But in the meantime, Holland has taken the mark.
Thompson pretty good here. You'll see him come in and maybe look as if he's going to take the mark, and right at the last minute pulled out, which allowed Nick Holland in front to take this mark.
Holland has taken 5 marks today.
Yeah, Royce Vardy was very good in the first quarter, but Nick Holland's got a lot of the ball in the second quarter.
Holland has taken 41 uncontested marks and 26 contested marks so far this year in 10 games. So he's been averaging some good solid numbers, and that's a good kick. Yeah, just carries the bag. And so we're back to level terms. Nick Holland, as I said, has taken 67 marks before today in 10 matches, so he's averaging 6 or 7 marks per game, and he's already got 5 marks this afternoon.
Yeah, Hutto, that's a gimme though. That's just a terrible play on the Richmond player, whoever it was, to go over the line there and give a free kick to the.
This is where Luke McCabe was penalised.
No, the whistle had blown already, so he just too long.
Too long.
Yep.
So scores level once again here at the MCG. Hawthorn 4-2, Richmond 4-2, and the Tigers a chance to get clear of the centre. Chappie smothered as he got the kick away. And it was Clinton King actually that affected that centre clearance. This is Vandenberg for Hawthorn, kicking the ball to the forward 50, but a good mark taken back there by Chappie. He swings around onto the left and has to kick it very wide, and effectively has found Brendan Gale. He got the hand pass off to Tawney. Tawney from the defensive end of the square gets good distance, but kicks into a vacant area where McCabe leads. And, crashing his way through. That's a terrific effort by Aaron James, but he hooked the bar. He does score, but just a behind for Richmond.
And a good play by the Richmond player there in Tawney, just to go straight to the top of the square. They're not kicked to the boundary line there and give Aaron James a chance. He come out a little bit too slow. The ball skips and slits in this wet condition, so you've got to be alert. You know, within 70 metres, you're in the play, so you've got to be alert. Aaron James a little bit slow to react. Got the reaction there, went hard on the ball and scored a point.
Had to do better though, didn't he?
Yeah.
With the kick. I mean,
should have made more of his opportunity there, especially in the conditions like today.
Didn't come close to kicking a goal. They're getting it out of defence here the hard way, the Hawks, and In the end, Campbell it was. He's looking to get off and lay the handball. Knights has led into the pocket. He's clapping like a fish looking for the feed coming through. I don't know if the fish's clap. I'm not sure.
A seal.
A seal. That was it. That's what I was looking for. Chick knocks it out of bounds.
You should go to SeaWorld more often, Hutto.
4-3 to 4-2.
Aaron James coming off, and looks like Evans might be coming on, and Tony Woods off for Bowyer.
Well, I think James, Couch, you get your comment about it, probably provides a better option for them up forward, even though he didn't convert a minute ago. But Evans getting straight into the play. Cameron waiting. He spots someone up. It's Bowden through the middle. Mark just paid.
He's more of a half-forward flank, Evans, to opportunity like a Nick Daffy. He's not your full forward, where they probably put young Ben Holland up the forward line there.
James is back on straight away, so I think he might have been getting a word from the coach. The handball really put Callaway under a lot of pressure, and Taylor managing to... Oh, watch out! The tackling from this Richmond side is excellent. Barlow.
Well done.
He did well to just let the oncoming traffic go past. Oh, Burke did everything but take the ball with him. Bit of bad talk from Chappie and Bowden. They fought over it. And Harper is so creative. Sets up McCabe. McCabe fires away. Didn't really get it on the boot where he was. Still there. It's still there for Crode. And that wasn't confident.
You know who was great there? Brendan Gale. Desperation at ground level.
He should have got a free kick though.
It was unbelievable.
I think he should have got
one around the neck. He had a hold of him there, Crode, and he just should have the free kick.
Watch the way he gets after this ball.
Was that a bit of hanging on from Gale on Crode? It was great stuff anyway, wasn't it?
Well, I'm sure Crode looked a real chance there to kick a goal, but the two defenders, Brendan Gale and Andrew Callaway, defied him the chance as Campbell marks the kick in and plays on quickly. Goes to Knights. Knights very much the playmaker for Richmond. Wide on that left foot. Kicks it in towards the forward pocket area. At the back, Aaron James. He's had 3 shots at goal and he has kicked 3 behinds.
But he's providing a contest down there up against Mark Ryan, who was getting too much of the ball. Easy marks against Evans, so it looks a little bit more dangerous. The ball's going to flip over the back in these conditions. It's a bit slippery.
Why do you think he was taken to the bench before?
Oh, he should have probably told to balance and make sure you kick the goal and not panic under pressure when you're clear. And on a day like today, you shouldn't miss him like that.
Cameron has been pretty important for Richmond. Hasn't had enormous numbers, 7, but as we often say, just uses it very well. Campbell backing back, takes a good grab. Salmon it was bearing down. Campbell probably just too far out to score.
He's had a bit of the ball too, Hutto.
Bowden leads into the pocket, and if he could get Joel Bowden, he could kick it from there. Still the option provided. It's a full forward line. Benny Gale pushing down into the square. That'll be the target. Got about 3 to beat, Benny. He's got it. He got there.
Well, he pushed down from the back line there, didn't he? It was great work to push forward, create the option there, and did a great job. Good mark.
A mighty effort from Benny Gale. He came from a Michael Holding run-up to get there.
Too tall, too strong. Good kick to the top of the square there. Put the pressure on the Hawthorn defenders. Got the sit at the back there. Judged it better. Nice mark.
Well, he had 3 or 4 Hawthorn players to beat, as you could see. And not that much at ground level, so he really had to go for broke. To put the Tigers up by 7, this is Benny Gale. Shouldn't miss from there, and doesn't. He rams it through. So the Tigers boxing on here at the MCG in a really good struggle. 5-4-34 to 4-3-27. We've got 8 minutes left.
And Campbell's been very good in this second quarter. He's had 13 possessions, 11 kicks, 2 handballs, 6 marks. He's been very creative. Taken some good ones and just working all over again. 5 kicks he's had in this second quarter has been very good. Leon Cameron's been very creative in the half-back line, so they've worked their opportunities. And Gale to mark and goal.
Oh, Peter Schwab is not happy at all. Whoever's on the other end of that phone would be holding it at least 6 or 8 inches away from their ear.
Probably saying the Hawthorn defender should against Brendan Gale to not let him mark that
ball.
ball.
About Nick Holland? He was in there and probably could have nearly got over the top of him and punched it away, and just momentarily hesitated. But play back at the centre. Matthew Knights trying to just get himself clear.
And Knights has moved into the centre square there. He was playing on the half-forward flank for the first quarter and a half, has moved into the centre square.
Conditions have fined up, haven't they?
We had some brilliant sunshine there for probably 30 seconds or so, but it's disappeared beyond the clouds once again. Bowyer, Joel Smith, who uses the ball pretty well, on this occasion decides to kick long into the half-forward area. Nick Holland handballs it off. Oh, well done there by Taylor to Crawford. Run down by King. Cameron didn't have the ball when he was run down. Is that right? Would that be the judgment?
He sold the free kick, just handballed the ball out, and the tackle was made, but he didn't have possession of the ball. Just smart play.
Been a bit quieter in the last few minutes, hasn't he, Crawford?
Well, he had a fair bit of the football in the first term. He had 6 possessions, and he's only had 2 handballs so far in this second term.
Just doesn't seem to be running to the right spots to get the ball. He's out wide and not getting involved.
Shot at goal by Crawford. Pretty good, isn't it? Captain, leader, goal! Just when the Hawks needed to squeeze an opportunity out of nowhere, their skipper has kicked their 5th goal. They trail by a point.
Well, it was just smart play. Just sold the free kick there, handballed the ball out quickly, knew he was going to get tackled. Yet just gave it out. Clinton King just held on too long, sold it. And it was a pretty good kick from a cute angle, 50 out. Good goal, Shane Crawford.
Jason Dunstall would have been proud of that kick, that's for sure. Just lending a hand in the Hawthorn box this afternoon. 1 point the margin. And this pretty fascinating struggle continues. Knights. So the Stars putting their stamp on the game. Daffy off the left, went very wide. Rogers, can he keep it in? Chick is a terrific matchup for someone like Rogers. Works for it pretty hard, gets the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. But just in the last few minutes, we've seen Crawford and Matthew Knights just show their stuff.
Campbell's been very good too.
Yep. And Benny Gale, who's a class player. Holland battling it out with Salmon. Quick kick, Campbell too, gets them to 50. Numbers with Hawthorn. Graham's not a great clearing kick, but he got it out to 50. Tivendale under pressure. Gale, a high handball. James, front on, did well. Didn't really look where he was kicking it, just blazed it.
Oh, that's a free kick.
Well played, though. Brilliantly played by Harford. Stood his ground.
He rode the tackle beautifully, didn't he? And on the end of it, Graham, wobbly kick, not a good one, onto the wing. Tough, though, for both sides. Very well grabbed. He went into trouble, gets himself out of it. Chappie, Knights, goes by hand to Tivendale. He thought about sharing it again. Now he has to handball it. Clinton King was very quick with the handball. Cameron will go long off the left, squeezed it down there. No one was ready for it. Chick did everything but take the mark. Rogers out the back. Salmon, he's just
well done.
He was just about gone, and he gets away with it. Graham
got him over there. Look at the Hawks over there. There's about 8 of them.
Arthur it was who takes it, and they line up on the wing. Dixon pushing forward, takes the mark, and will carry it to the wing and go bang.
Just his 2nd kick for the game, Ben Dixon, but by gee, hasn't it had an effect? It's given Thompson the opportunity to mark. He can go into the pocket, and the player on his own is Leckus. Angelo Leckus will shoot for goal from about 35 metres on a tight angle in that right forward pocket. Well, Duncan Kellaway, he got hurt in this clash with Daniel Harford. He might have hurt a knee or a shin.
Looked like a knee, didn't it?
It did. He went straight for the high part of the right leg.
That'll be crucial for them this afternoon. He's done a pretty good job on Harford. Harford's had a much better second quarter.
Leckus goes for goal, and he's put it through for the Hawks. They've hit the front.
So all of a sudden things looking up for the Hawks, Coucher. They've kicked the last 2. Callaway's off the ground injured. Well, they're in front.
They don't look dangerous to the full forward line, Richmond, at all. Especially with Ottens being out, they just don't look as dangerous. Chick's done a good job there, but Mark Graham under pressure. Mark Graham was sensational under pressure, and Callaway looks like he's hurt his right knee. He's been very good for Richmond over the last 5 weeks.
Duncan Kellaway did have a knee injury, and
that's right.
Yep. Maybe the same one, do you think?
Might have jarred a little bit. They can get very tender.
Hawthorn by 5 and looking dangerous, although that's not a good handball from Harford. Fiora did very well. Bitterscombe back in the action, gets him to centre half forward. To take the mark, Dragicevic, Knights. He'll be just trying to spear the ball to somebody, or he goes off his wrong boot. Down to Daffy, one-on-one with McCabe. Daffy had no one around him. He has to do it on his own. Rogers applied the tackle. Numbers with Hawthorn. Taylor, chick, low kick, and that's okay. Harper, they've got the man on the overflow, and that's the big fish. Salmon.
Got to hang on to it.
Yeah, he spots up a couple on the wing. They're really moving the Hawks. Holland lays it off to Barlow. Pumping long kick. Thompson, Leckis, they're lining up. Neither can take the mark. Desperation required by the Tigers here. Crode loves these, but misses. And it's a goal the difference at the MCG. And the Tigers under real pressure. Hawthorn leading by a goal.
You know, we often say that when a player turns into that position, he loves these. I don't think there'd be a player out there that would dislike an opportunity like that, Couchy.
Well, especially when you see Matthew Knight's balance up so easy on slippery conditions. You know you've got space, you just take your time. You know,
Did he hurry that, you think?
Oh, you do. Just experience comes out at the end of the day, and you just know in these conditions, once you get rid of a player, I've spoken about it today, you've got time.
Fair enough.
Chip Bowden did well to spot up James on that occasion. The pressure was on. The crowd was willing the umpire to blow the whistle and be consistent as they paid the free at the other end of the ground, but he managed to get his man. The Richmond side are under a lot of pressure here at the moment, Robbo.
Yes, it's going to be important. They're only trailed by 6 points, and Matthew Knight's striving to set a play up here for his teammates down the ground, kicks it into the pocket, and the mark is taken by Tallis. Did well. Maybe a slightly stronger body in that marking contest. Short kick finds Salmon. Salmon is still inside the defensive half of the ground as far as the Hawks are concerned. Further afield to Joel Smith. He goes very wide. Crode dragged out of it. Knights tackled by Crode. Well done. Tawney trying to give the chance to Cameron to stride clear of that half-back line. And Leon Cameron in towards half-forward. Gee, that was desperate stuff, wasn't it? Back there at half-back by Rawlings to punch the ball clear for a boundary throw-in.
Well, the last line of defence of Hawthorn's been very good. Rawlings, Chick's been very good, and Mark Graham's been sensational today.
Well, they've all had to just add a little bit to their own game because they're missing, of course, Jonathan Hay, who's been a tremendous player for the Hawks over the first 10 weeks of season 2000. And Bitterscombe put Tawney under a bit of pressure. Daniel Harper, you've gone, but he's able to get the hand pass away, so not penalised. Forced it up to the forward 50. Callaway, there was a free kick in that passage, was there, Couchy?
Holding the man.
And the advantage was paid to Richmond. They're still in a spot of bother. Bowden's little kick, well gathered by Tivendale. He swings around onto the left, kicks it out wide, good spotting, and Brendan Gale is marked. 2 kicks from goal.
Yeah, what'll happen next? He'll go for Ben Holland, who's in good position, but couldn't pull the mark down. Runners with Hawthorn. Richard Taylor's had a terrific second quarter. 10 possessions, 6 and 3 in fact before that kick. Now it's 7 and 3. Leckis kept it alive, sets it up all Richmond there. Campbell, the son, the only problem for him, takes the mark. And this is again where they've got the problem the next kick. Spotting someone. Knights was the target, but it was a bit high. Holland came through. Knights stood up, but Hawthorn had the numbers. Could have been a free for over the shoulder. Daffy came over the top. Umpire lets it flow. Bitterscombe, well tackled by Collicker. They all just jump on top of it. Eventually the umpire forced to bounce. So 6-4-40 Hawthorn and looking dangerous. Richmond 5-4-34. I think if they could just hold it at 1 goal and go in at half-time and regroup, the Tigers would be fairly happy. It's been a real struggle here. Maybe they could steal a goal and they could go in on level terms, and who knows for the second half. Campbell, watch out, got to kick quickly. Did, went high. Benny Gale's down there. Will he get a free? He won't. And the numbers again with the Hawthorn defence. Taylor, 11th possession for the quarter. Goes outside 50. Didn't have a bad amount of leather on the footy on that occasion, but couldn't get his teammate Barlow. Tawney did well in the end, escaped with the help of Cameron. Off the left, squeezed the kick out. Again, numbers with the Hawthorn side. Richard Taylor around the body. This one's okay. Dixon, who's been a lot quieter, takes the mark. He's had just 3 touches. Gets it to half forward. Gets Thompson.
He worked hard to get the front posse, Hutto, then.
Pushed a long way up the ground. Holland will be the next one. And they're just starting to really look dangerous. 45 seconds on the clock. Andrew Callaway waits down forward. Crode leads to his right and then his left. Goes shorter than that to Bowyer. Here's Crode now coming into it. Now he has Campbell to contend with. Well, clever. Andrew Callaway. Bowden will just go bang. 30 seconds remaining. Chick will be involved here with the Shepherd. The Birdman comes through, Brett Evans. Well played though, Daniel Chick. Oh, he overran at the last minute and the ball over the line and out of bounds with 18 seconds on the clock remaining in the half.
He had every opportunity there. As soon as if he picked the ball up, he was out and gone, but he just missed it completely. Just went straight over the top of it.
So the ball thrown in. Can the Hawks get forward here, or the Tigers? They'd have to be pretty good either side. And now you wouldn't think so. Campbell with 8 seconds to go. Bowden needs a quick kick and a mark, and he won't get it. So half-time score will remain as is. 6-4-40 Hawthorn, 5-4-34. I've just mentioned how tight it's been all day, and that quarter no exception. It was level at quarter time, and a lot more high-scoring. Hawthorn kicking 4-3, Richmond 3-3. And at half-time, the Hawks lead by 6 points, Paul Couch.
Well, Richard Taylor had a lot of the ball, but he got most of his possessions in the back end there, inside 50 around there. And that's what the on-ballers are doing of Hawthorn, are pushing their players back. Crawford hasn't had a lot of the ball. He's been a little bit quiet. Daniel Harford's been very, very good, clever. These conditions suit him. He can fake a few players. He had 9 possessions in that second quarter. He was very good. He was one of the blokes that got him back into the game. But their backline's been very good. Daniel Chick, Mark Graham's been sensational. He's had 3 or 4 possessions, and they've been able to transfer play very quickly and get Nick Holland one-on-one with Vardy. Vardy's done a pretty good job in the first quarter, but Nick Holland got a lot of the ball that quarter. Was very, very good. But Campbell was sensational in that second quarter, working hard also. Bowden went out of a bit, went down to the back line. Probably I'd like to see him on the ball. It's working Peter Swab's way there with Angelo Leckers going down the forward line, taking him out of the play, so it worked well. But Nick Holland had 8 marks in that first half, did very well, was very quiet in the first quarter, so it's provided an option there.
2 big possession winners there, Bowden 16 and Campbell 19. On the other side, no one at Hawthorn has had any more than 10 kicks.
It's half-time. It's Richmond 5-4. The Hawks in front. They're 6-4.
The AFL Premiership Season 2000, brought to you by Harvey Norman, the new 3-litre turbo diesel patrol, and the bank that helps businesses make it happen.
The European PGA Tour 2000.
That was only playing one place, the bottom of the cup.
Tonight at 11:30 on C7 Sport.
It looks good. It's very good. It's outstanding.
That could be a costly miss.
Exclusive highlights of the Deutsche Bank Open.
My goodness, did you see that? And something again puts him off.
Beautifully struck.
The European PGA Tour continues. Tonight at 11:30 on C7 Sport.
G'day, Ryan. G'day, Rod.
Looks like rain.
For the first time in Australia, the new 3-litre turbo diesel patrol. Now with over 20% more power.
Only Optus has the weekday mobile that becomes an AFL footy phone with changeable covers, a ring in your club song and score updates. That's the power of yes. Optus World.
If Richmond are to win this game, well, someone has just got to come out of the blocks and kick 3 or 4 goals in half a game of football.
I was going to ask if you think there'll be any particular changes that Danny Frawley can make. Would you keep Aaron James up at full forward, which is where he's gone, by the way?
Well, I guess with one player down, he's just got to start the second half with some players in the positions maybe that they started or finished the end of the first half in, and just see what happens. I mean, there was only a goal of difference at half time, so it's not as if they've lost everything, but just at the latter part of the second half, you thought the Hawks may have gained the ascendancy, and Richmond have got to really contribute a lot. Every one of them have got to be concentrating very hard in the early part of the second half.
Yes, third quarter about to begin. Matthew Knights in the middle. Clinton King back on the ground in the middle. Broderick also back on the ground. And Gale is the 4 from the Tigers. And the Hawks, Salmon in the ruck. Harford coming through, couldn't take it. Richard Taylor, who was great in that second quarter. Working for it, Crow. Taylor again gets a possession. Holland in front. And that was very crucial, wasn't it? Those little quick kicks and handballs out of the middle. And Vardy scratches his head, and well he might, because he started really well. But Nick Holland started to present himself and got plenty of the footy in the third quarter.
Just a play like that, you've got to play in front, Vardy. Just can't afford to be behind, especially a quick kick out of a packet. Generally goes to the man in front. Play in front, use the space.
So Holland comes in. This would give them a 2-goal advantage. He stabbed at it a bit, and I don't think he's made the distance. Amazingly, he hasn't, but Dixon might still be able to score the goal. Gets clear and then misses. And that is really disappointing result for the Hawks.
Yeah, Joel Bowden's still playing in the half-back line. I'd like to see him just on the ball there. He's very creative in the first quarter, but they've Hawthorn players pushed him back. Alekas had him up in the half-forward line, so he's not as dangerous playing half-back.
Good kick in by Cameron has found Campbell. Campbell goes for Clinton King, closer to the middle of the ground. Straightens up, off the right, kicks it forward. Good mark, Ben Holland. He was tigerish, wasn't he? Good kick too. Excellent kick on the face of Aaron James.
A better kick into the forward 50 there by Ben Holland.
He looked comfortable, don't you think? Because, well, the sun has come out again, and it looks pretty well ideal conditions. The wind blowing, but certainly the ball able to be marked in front of your face.
Well, we certainly had a lot of rain before the game, Robbo, and it was a good kick by Holland, just giving the space to James.
James from about 45 metres gets underneath it and kicks it behind. Tigers could have done with that one.
He's kicked 4 behinds today.
Yeah, you've got to make the most of your opportunities. He leant back on the ball there. That makes the ball lift in the air and carries off to the right, if you're especially a right footer. Same thing as your left foot. If you kick back, usually goes to the left-hand side.
A goal of difference. Crawford marks the kick in from Rawlings. Goes high, out towards the wing on the outer side. Gathered here by Bowyer. Handball, Joel Smith. Looking down the ground, forced to kick with the left. Just tries to weight it and land the ball at half forward. At ground level, Clinton King. Bowden goes wide. Chaffee getting back onto his favoured left. Goes in towards the middle. Mark taken by Rogers away from Dixon. Rogers still inside the defensive half of the ground as far as the Tigers are concerned. Now he gets the ball up towards half forward. Ben Holland presented himself again. Rawlings. Well, must have heard the call there from Clinton King because he went for that player. King into the pocket is good. And the mark is taken by James, and already Aaron James has presented himself twice in the early part of his third term. So he's got a chance to kick his first goal after 4 previous attempts have failed.
He led into space there beautifully, Aaron James, but what Mark Graham should have done, it should have been in front of him, in front of that space, so he can't lead into it. He has to have another option, and that's to go back to the square. But good play by James. Graham, not so good.
James from 45 metres.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, doesn't follow through the ball, doesn't put his weight through the ball, just lifts his leg in the air, stops and props, and there you go. Just goes in the air and lets the wind do the rest.
Gee, very lopsided, isn't it? Richmond have kicked 5 goals, 6, and 5 of those 6 behinds have come off the boot of one player, Aaron James.
So 5 points is the margin. Rawlings tries again, similar position, similar result.
And that makes a difference between best on ground and being the 15th best.
Bowyer gets it onto the wing. Salmon in front. Good strong mark. Yeah. I wonder what there's not much Richmond can do, because James is really presenting himself well and getting the opportunities, but he's just not converting. Thompson, well tackled by Burke. Probably almost in the end could have got rid of him and really brought him to ground, but he was right there with Thompson, wasn't he?
They look a lot more dangerous with James there instead of Evans, Ardo.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's how they get scoring opportunities, but he's just got to make the most of them.
Thompson in the ruck again now. Gale did that well down to Rogers, so they've done pretty well around the packs in the early days of this third quarter, the Tigers. McCabe, well tackled. Daffy flicked it out the back. Tunnel ball stuffed that, McCabe, and the ball out of bounds. The 2 behinds to 1 in favour of Richmond since half-time.
And they made the change. Andrew Callaway's gone on to Nick Holland, who was just cutting out Vardy too easily.
Gale against Salmon. Rogers waits down. Daffy got a high tackle. It wasn't much in it, the umpire said, so lets it go on. Salmon uses Woods, who was instant with the handball to Chick. They did that well. Oh, he didn't do that well, though. Lekas really sold Chick back into trouble. He kicked hurriedly in the end. It'll work out very well for them, though. Salmon, this is Bowyer through the middle. Kicks it high, up to full forward. Crowd. No, didn't get near it in the end. Andrew Callaway backing back.
Ordinary kick. When you get on the run like that, you've got to do a bit better into the forward line.
Gets it wide. Oh, dangerous. And Bowyer really did well. Worked hard to get there and take the mark. Holland led.
Still could kick it there to
Crowd. Crowd's an option, definitely, but he awkwardly kicks it up towards full forward. Callaway stood very tall. Dixon dangerous on his left. No, he decided to handball. Taylor has to go around to his right, and he squares up well and gets Shane Crawford just 40 metres out.
Kick one already, Shane Crawford. And that was a beauty in the second term, deep in that right half-forward pocket area at the other end of the ground where he popped it through for a lovely goal.
Well, this would be Hawthorn's biggest margin of the day, wouldn't it, I would think? 11 points.
Yes.
Here he comes from 45. It's pretty good as far as accuracy is concerned. And not bad as far as distance is concerned either. So Hawthorn 7-5, 47 now. Richmond 5-6, 36. And the margin out to 11 points, which would no doubt disappoint the Tigers.
Yeah, it's good play by Dixon. Worked hard, just got the ball off the ground here. Ground level play. He hasn't had a lot of the ball. But squared the ball up to Richard Taylor, who's been very good in the second quarter. Squared it up to Crawford, who goaled.
Couchy, we've got a quarter that is 7 minutes old in the third term. There's a player on the ground for Hawthorn who's had more possessions in a quarter and 7 minutes than any of his teammates, Richard Taylor.
Well, he did play loose in the Richmond forward line in the second quarter, so he's entitled to get a bit of the ball.
Tigers a chance here. Clinton King lobs the ball at half forward, but back goes Woods. Handball off to Chick. They've got players around the ball. It's a good confidence sign, isn't it, when they outnumber at ground level. Daniel Harford to Joel Smith. Probably could have gone short and kicked the ball to Leckis. He went into half forward. If that wasn't a free kick, it was close to a mark to Taylor. He kicks it forward, and Vardy is marked for Richmond across that full back line. Gets under the kick a little bit, but getting back and taking a good mark was King. He's able to run away from the half back line, kick it in short. Good mark in front of his face to Ben Holland. Handball off to Daffy. Now the Tigers are running, and Daffy's kicking towards full forward. And a contest provided there by Graham on Aaron James. Dragicevic there, but the ball spills over for a boundary throw-in.
And what Hawthorn have done on their half-forward lines worked very, very hard. Chaffee, Bitterscombe have been good over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and Chaffee's only had 7 possessions. He's usually higher in the possession, usually got about 15 by this time, but Taylor's done a very good job on him. Just one-on-one has worked him very hard.
In front, Campbell. Handballs it to David Burke. A long way down from the full-back position. Flying shot at goal. Gee, that must have been pretty close. Through for a behind to the Tigers. Kicked by David Burke.
Just look for trying to find goals for Richmond. Just very hard to get. James doesn't kick a lot of goals. Ben Holland doesn't kick a lot of goals for him. And Nick Daffy only kicks 3 or 4. They're just missing that important player today, which has been Ottens, who's been suspended.
10-point margin enjoyed by the Hawks as Rawlings kicks into the far side. They've got 2-on-1. Leckis, handball, running, Crawford. He's got plenty of space in front of himself. And the support has come from the player who delivered the hand pass in the first place, Angelo Leckis. And you have to congratulate Leckis. He initiated the play to Crawford, but was prepared to keep running and give Crawford some support.
And keep pushing up. It's great work. That's where they've been the most dangerous, Hawthorn, today. They transferred the play from the back line. That's where they've got most of their goals from. Graham's been good. Leckis has worked hard.
Joel Bowden gave Shane Crawford a bit of treatment after he got rid of the ball.
Crowd going for his second goal, and he's posted it by the look of it. Yes, it's a goal to the Hawks. So dangerous signs for Richmond right now. They're yet to add a goal to their half-time tally. The Hawks have kicked 2.
Well, the marking forwards are Hawthorn. Crode's been very good. Holland's been very good. That's been the difference where James and Evans haven't taken many marks, contested marks there. James has had a few shots at goal, been disappointing there. Just let your teammates down. Now Leckis working hard, following up his good play, and down to Trent Crode. Good play, good mark, good lead.
Well, young Roy Sparty is now on Trent Crode after being on Nick Holland. And unfortunately, his opponent putting it through for a goal, so the margin out to 16 points. And the Hawks looking good. Knights to half forward. Strong work from Ben Holland. He's really contesting hard down there, but getting outnumbered. Daffy, he tried hard as well. Dragicevic, Tallis over the top. And a bounce will be required.
And their on balls have got a little bit quiet here for Richmond. Daffy's been a little bit quiet. Campbell hasn't had much of it. And it's turned the other way there. They're just doing. Tall forwards of Hawthorn have been very good in this third quarter and the second quarter.
Back to that loose man situation for both teams. Brendan Gale playing a kick behind play for Richmond. I think Rawlings is the loose man. Oh, that's a terrific smother from Tallis. He did well too to avoid all the oncoming traffic, then just gave it up. In and out of trouble, Tivendale. Broderick used hands. Clinton King tried to measure the kick. There wasn't much there for them. Here's the loose man I was talking about, Rawlings, and he can really set it up. Gets Joel Smith. Had to be really quick with the handball. Rock, I think, spent a bit of time on the bench. Turns onto his right boot. Gets to centre half forward. Not a good kick. Chappie back to take the mark. Got someone through the middle. No, he goes out wide. Goes to Bowden. And Bowden didn't take the mark. Leckis did well, but good shepherding allows Knights in. Again, it's about 4 on 2. Richmond need a mark. Dragicevic. Numbers again, as I said, 4 on 2 to Hawthorn. They've got the numbers not very well
terrible.
done.
Gamble.
Holland gave away a free kick. Well, he did grab him high. He did grab him high, so Chick to take the free kick.
They were lucky to get out of it, though, weren't they, the Hawks?
Yep, hard palpitations for Anthony Rock.
Rawlings goes out very wide, looking for Richard Taylor, dispossessed by Chaffee, well played by Chaffee. Neat little left foot kick, sets it up for Campbell. Campbell goes for goal, and that is what the Tigers needed. No, not quite far enough. Chopped off back there by Graham. His short kick, Joel Smith. They've got a loose player out wide. It is Harford, but the kick coming out from Smith, not quite the accuracy he was looking for. He's a little disappointed with the result, and the boundary umpire will throw it in. Richmond's last goal. Fair while ago, wasn't it? The second term probably going around 30 minutes, and we're already 12.5 minutes into the third term. Hawks will go forward. Graham, knock on. Crawford. Just love the look of Hawthorn when Crawford starts to get a bit of the football. Oh, geez, a good player, and that was a good kick too onto the chest of Leckis. Leckis just forward of centre, goes in towards the pocket, and it's a mark. Crode has taken it, only 30 metres out. Richmond swinging the changes.
Benny Gale's gone to full forward. Yeah. Fiora onto the ground, James into the ruck.
Dragicevic coming off the ground for Adam Fiora, but we're watching Trent Crode. He's only had 4 kicks for 2 goals, 5 kicks for 3. You'd have to say that he's done his job so far, and there's still plenty of time. Crode goes for goal, and this occasion he may have just missed.
Just let off to the right, Robbo.
2 goals, 2 to Trent Crode, but presenting himself, and that's what all you ask for. Big man up on the forward line, make a contest and try and hold it alive for maybe the opportunity for another Hawthorn goal to a result. 8 goals, 6 to 5-7, Hawthorn lead.
Dragicevic off the ground too for the Tigers. Campbell uses Broderick. You can see that through the middle. Taffy. Now he's got Fiora to one way and Rogers to the other. So they broke pretty well from the middle. James goes past Rogers, ignores him. Goes short and wide.
And sensational work to the front. Yeah, it was a little bit quicker than Benny Gale.
Well,
did have front position though.
There's been big raps on Jade Rawlings all year, hasn't there?
Yeah, he's done a terrific job. He's managed to hold down a defensive post to allow Crode to go forward. And Crode showing at the moment just how dangerous he is. Out of defence, Graham. Gee, they've got space and players running everywhere. Dixon, Crawford's pushed down. He might go longer than that, he does. On the lead, Crode, Burke. Didn't give away the free, Callaway. Handball, Chaffee. Oh, Crode will kick a goal. Crode will kick a goal. And the Hawks starting to run wild here at the MCG.
You just heard Couchy. It was a great spotting.
Great spotting and hit the top of the square just there.
But the tackle
was sensational.
Made the ball spill, didn't it?
They've had 23 tackles to Hawthorn. Have had 23 tackles to Richmond 17. I just had a look at that before. Just their tackling, harassing in their four-line. Sensational play by Rocky here. Loose ball, get, bang, Crode, goal.
Couch, it's an example of not necessarily the player kicking the goal, but the setup beforehand.
Well, you see many times the bloke who tackles it usually goes to the teammate and bang a goal. Happens to Trent Crowe. Good tackle by Anthony Rock.
Well, Richmond have a chance here, right up on their full forward line. Ben Holland trying to scrounge a goal. Oh, that is desperation personified by Jade Rawlings. He just wanted the footy, and he didn't care at what cost. Tony Woods kicks it out wide, one-on-one, but Rogers does well and gets back and marks for the Tigers. Short. Chance here for Tivendale. He's 50 metres from goal.
So Richmond have had it inside 59 times for no goals at all, and Hawthorn have had it in 6 times and have results every time. So you're just struggling up on the forward line, and that's been the difference.
Tivendale from 50 metres. Pretty good kick. Oh,
kick.
Great kick. It's a mark or a goal? I'd say it's a mark to Joel Bowden by the look of it.
And you're left-footed too, so the angle here might be important.
Well, they should just walk up. Don't worry about the angle so much.
Well, how does he squeeze it through?
Well, he can't squeeze it through now because he's just taken that position, the Hawthorn player.
Which is pretty shrewd.
Well, you just walk up slowly.
And just throw it on your boot.
Throw it on your boot about three yards out and bang it through. Because just keep walking. I would just do.
Well, Bowden is going to have
He should, just where the umpire is there, you see, and yeah, just before there, just out a little bit further, just walk up to that position, roll out on top.
Well, we'll watch Joel Bowden and just see what he does. He's going to try a check side, I would think. He's put it through anyway, hasn't he? It's a goal. So he did pretty well in the finish, and no matter which way he did it, he got the goal for Richmond, which was sorely needed, you would have to say. Their first goal of the second half coming after 17 minutes of play.
Well, they've had it inside 9 times, and only one result is a goal. They really struggled here. But Rawlings was a sensational mark. He runs into danger, just wants the ball desperately. He's played very well today. Great grab. Tivendale.
So Richmond get one back. Salmon beaten by Gale, but Bowyer knocked off it. So it will just give Richmond a little bit of confidence. Daffy, they've been getting the ball down there pretty well, as Couchy said, in terms of times in, but it's been pretty hard for them once they've got it there. Fiora was involved in that, and the umpire will bounce it.
Lucky he wasn't penalised.
And Hutto, they're really going to struggle because it's going to rely on individual efforts to kick these goals. Like, they've only kicked 6 for the day, so you get hardly... Look, this is a good lead by Hawthorn. They're really going to struggle to get it back here. Richmond 17 points in front. Hawthorn.
Yeah, you would think it would be pretty tough,
but pretty tough.
No doubt there's plenty of time, and if they can get some system going, someone to stand up, kick some goals, they'll certainly be in the race. Good fight for it on the wing. Campbell's been terrific, really worked hard for them. Vardy has certainly learned a lesson this afternoon. Fighting hard, Callaway. Burke is back there as well. Oh, Callaway under pressure. Cameron, he's under pressure. Oh, he's handled him. It was super behind. Crowe kicked the glory goal, but it won't count.
Another great tackle by Rock.
Just example of their play today. Just inside forward 50, and they're tackling and harassing Richmond, just causing the error.
Cameron, I think, is both-sided with his feet, but I'm not sure he is with his hands. He certainly didn't appear to be then.
Oh, he was under enormous pressure.
He
just
was.
Tackling, though.
He was trying to get onto his natural side. Daffy got a clearing kick, gets Bowden, so the Tigers get out of their trouble. 3 goals is the margin. Goes to short to a one-on-one contest. Holland, will he clear the path? He takes them on and dished off, but Rawlings has been terrific in this quarter. He has been fantastic. And the Hawks onto the wing, and with space for Glenn Bowyer to work in. And he goes short on the bounce. Trapped by Dixon, sets it up. 3 Hawks to 1. And, oh, was that high and nasty and 50 or not? No.
Yeah, just they're marking around the ground. They're just too tall for the Richmond players. As soon as it's dried up, they come into play, the Hawthorn tools.
Well, the pass not paid to Holland from Barlow, but he just shrugs the tackle and kicks a goal. Too easy. Too easy for Nick Holland. He threads the goal, and Hawthorn are 9-7-61. Another goal on the board takes them to 10-7-67 and 6-7-43 Richmond.
And you'd be disappointed with Craig Bitterscombe's effort here on the tackle on Nick Holland. Just wasn't strong enough at it. It was Joel Bowden, sorry.
Tawney, I think it might have been.
Tawney, yeah, sorry, yeah, it was just a poor tackle. Should have been harder at him, attack the hips, let him break free and kick a goal.
Well, Daniel Harford there having, looks like some attention maybe. He's heading towards the rooms with a trainer in assistance. You'd think Daniel Harford, if he's 100% fit, would be out there. Now Richmond just have to get the next goal. Chaffee's little kick out wide for Daffy. And he's run down. Taylor got the hand pass away, and effectively too. Dragicevic kicks to the front of the goals. And a free kick, a very, very soft free kick. What did you think, Couch? He bumped him out of the road.
Why wasn't it an advantage to Matthew Knights?
That's right, yep, true, Hutto, good call.
Aaron James wouldn't be feeling too positive about having a shot at goal, would he, right now?
I thought that was a free kick to the Hawthorn.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was
him in the back.
Rawlings got interfered with.
That's
pretty
right.
ordinary decision.
He's kicked 5 behinds from 5 shots, Aaron James.
So he's got to kick a goal. They trail by 4. He can bring it back to 3. He's had a big ping at them, and he succeeds at his 6th attempt. So a goal to the Tigers, kicked by Aaron James, and it is a 3-goal margin enjoyed by the Hawks with 4.5 minutes left in the 3rd term.
Really was lucky to get the free kick here. I thought
that
he
is
pushed
shocking.
Absolutely nothing there.
There's nothing
Play
there.
on.
And look, no real confidence in his kicking action there, so he's lucky to get the goal.
So after a decision that would probably make the top 10 shockers of the year, Richmond kick a goal.
Another infringement, too many in the square.
And now they can break from the middle. They go one out very wide. And now the setup. They need someone to take a strong mark. James went up. He couldn't take it this time. Fiora. Oh, he was strong at it, but he just didn't take it with him. Daffy. We had to be quick with the kick, and the Hawks had numbers, and they knocked it down, and Crawford booted it out on the full. Gee, mate,
a fair kick.
Good contact with it out of the air, didn't he?
That's the problem of going wide, Richmond, there, that the Hawthorn players were able to get back into that forward 50 there and just bottle up the play for Richmond. They're making it very hard to score.
4 minutes and 15 seconds left.
King off the ground, and Rogers back on for Richmond.
3rd quarter, so 3 goals off the margin. They'd love to get one more, Richmond, before 3-quarter time to just be bearing down there. And in the contest, they might get a chance here. Oh, why did he handball, James? I guess he's not confident at the moment. But that was a chance that's been missed, really. And the goal umpire with the glasses on this very sunny afternoon at the MCG. Signals are behind. 7-8-50 Richmond, and Hawthorn at 10-7-67.
Very subtle. We'll watch now as the Hawks prepare in their setup to try and accept this kick in from Mark Graham. They lead by 17 points. It's by no means a safety margin as far as Hawthorn are concerned. The ball spills to the back. Again, an attempted hack off the ground.
Well done, Benny Gale.
And it's gathered here by Barlow. Barlow kicks it forward. A marking contest, just keeping his footing, which was important, was Ben Dixon. Run down by Tawney, caught, got the hand pass away. He's gone. The Hawthorn player tackled from behind. Still Matthew Knights trying to scramble. An opportunity for the Tigers.
Can we have a look at the replay of that and see whether he had prior opportunity or not?
Well, he tried to get around. He just caught, nailed, free kick, but the umpire's on the other side of the pack.
Yeah.
Boundary throw in, just forward of centre wing, and that's a free kick against Thompson. Just blatantly got rid of Benny Gale in the ruck contest. No hope Gale had there.
Oh, no, don't kick it to... He's going to kick it to Ben Holland. He had 2 players around him.
His kick has gone into the centre. The mark taken by Ben Holland. Runs on and then waits the kick nicely. Yes, Dragicevic, well done. I don't quite know whether it was intended for Mark Dragicevic, but he's taken the mark and he's well within scoring range. If he can get this, it will be back to 11 points in favour of Hawthorn, and not a game that is safe as far as the Hawks are concerned. Certainly a winnable one for the Tigers.
They've just lifted a bit their work rate in the last few minutes, haven't they, Richmond?
In the first half of the quarter, when Hawthorn got that break, they still had a fair bit of the football, the Tigers. So they'd be thinking fairly positively about their chances, especially after Mark Dragicevic has kicked a goal. His first goal for this match, And the 8th goal on the scoreboard for Richmond. And after Hawthorn got out to nearly a 4-goal advantage, the last couple of goals to the Tigers has brought it back to 11 points with 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
There was a poor free kick given on the boundary line here, though, by Nathan Thompson on Brendan Gale. Gale was going to square the ball up to Holland, but Holland passed the ball off to Dragicevic, who goaled.
So Tigers within 11 points. 10-7 to 8-8. 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter. Knights has just been threatening all day. They're out of the middle. Tivendale, a high one. Dragicevic trying to get into the contest. Did pretty well to push back. No free kick. The handball off from Bowden. In goes Tivendale. Goes around and around in circles. On top of it, McCabe. And the umpire calls for a bounce.
Well, they haven't played poorly in this third quarter. They've had plenty of chances inside 50. Just Aaron James hadn't made the opportunities there. They've had 13 times inside 50, where Hawthorn have only gone in 8. So they're probably winning the game in around the centre square, but just not getting full use out of it when they go forward.
Daffy decides to go long and strong. In front was Gale. Brought it to the ground. Who wants it? Fiora. Over the top. Pretty tight stuff from Chick and a bounce. So they've thrown Gale to pull forward for the last few minutes, which probably not a bad idea.
Well, they've had to
pinch a goal.
They've had to, because he looks more dangerous than anybody else there, and James hasn't been. So that works well, but they're missing out in the ruck then, so you need 2 Brendan Gales on a day like today.
Well, maybe one Brad Ottens. Unfortunately, they haven't got him. Salmon got the tap. And they're out, but only for a short period. Cameron he can go short to Fiora, decides not to. Sets it up, good kick, beautiful kick, and Nick Daffy. What an important kick for Nick Daffy coming into three-quarter time with 1:15 on the clock.
Well, he's kicked 2. He's just the player that needs to kick 3 or 4 on a day like today with Ottens being out, and he's done a reasonable job. He's worked pretty hard today, Nick Daffy. He's had 21 possessions today, so he's worked pretty hard for his possessions, but he's been steady all day without being brilliant.
2 straight, as you said. He's kicked. He's been able to find the middle, something that certainly Aaron James hasn't been able to do. And he's found it again. He's found it again. Gee, this has been a terrific fight back by Richmond. I know they were always within range, but when Hawthorn got out to a 4-goal lead, they just looked so threatening. And they really looked like they were going to get on top and dominate. But the margin back to 5 points. It was level at quarter time. There was 6 points in it at half-time, and with 41 seconds on the clock, there's only 5 points in it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful kick here by Leon Cameron. Just got enough space for Nick Daffy to lead in, and Rock should have been on him. He's just been dragged. Anthony Rock. Nick Daffy kicks his 3rd goal.
Well, Daniel Harford back on the ground for the Hawks. And in the minutes that he's been off the ground, we've seen Richmond kick the last 3 goals and bring the margin back to less than a goal. Knights and Gale combine. Gale's kick to the full forward area, gathered by James. Handball, well, that was rather inventive. Dragicevic hooks the ball. Rogers will take the mark.
Well, Dragicevic had about 15 minutes to actually get the ball. Aaron James should have quickly kicked it over the top of his shoulder there, because Dragicevic, Luke McCabe was guessing where the ball was going and just left his man, and Dragicevic was on his own, so he had plenty of time, plenty of think time. He was on his own and the ball went to him.
Well, he won't be able to play on here. The siren will go before he has his shot.
As much as Richmond have lifted, gee, the Hawks have, their work rate has dropped off, hasn't it? I think Peter Schwab will just absolutely go berserk. Now, he can't afford to play on, right? That's what everybody's running in there to tell him, isn't it?
He's getting plenty
of time. If he goes
advice
to the right, he's gone.
Have a look at that for a great shot. Angle's tight.
It is terrific. It gives everyone watching an indication. The Hawks are lining up. First slip, second slip, wide gully as Rogers goes in and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
Oh, well.
Is that a score?
It's a score. He's given it a point.
He's kidding. He was in no position to make that decision anyway. But anyway,
I think the sun might have been in his eyes. Those glasses didn't work, had they?
Well, Nick Holland having strong words to Andrew Coates as they leave at three-quarter time. Let's have another look at it.
We'd like to see the point post there.
It's hard to tell from there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, yeah. Really.
Where was the goal umpire?
The boundary umpire was in good position.
The boundary umpire, so it was probably the correct decision. But
you've been kind, you blokes.
We're always kind, Robbo. It's three-quarter time, 10-7-67 Hawthorn. Richmond fighting back, really threatening 9-9-63, Paul Couch.
Well, Dragicevic was good in that last 10 minutes. They're battling away hard. Nick Daffy did some good work. Just individual efforts there. Aaron James had plenty of shots at goal there. Inside 50, they were a lot more effective that time they were in the first 15 minutes because they were terrible. They had it in 9 times they hadn't scored. So Richmond they're battling hard. Hawthorn have dropped off, and Harford going off the ground certainly didn't help Hawthorn.
So what do we have in store? 4 points is the margin at three-quarter time. We'll take a break.
Football feedback, 7:30 tonight. Nobody takes a back step.
The symbolism of seeing an umpire sort of sprawled half dead on the ground while two blokes are boxing on next to him, and it looks terrible. You can't tolerate that.
And I think that he is in a lot of trouble. He has KO'd an umpire. He may not play again this year.
I just grabbed Nathan straight away and tried to pull him out of what was going on. You've changed it.
Football feedback, live 7:30 tonight on C7 Sport.
The Nissan Pulsar is so weighed down with extras, it's taken a bridge out, taken a ship out, and caused a blowout. Now, it's having a run out. This is your last chance to get this Pulsar Plus with aircon, airbag, CD, keyless entry, alloy wheels, and a rear spoiler for only $19,990. The Pulsar Plus run out. Hurry, you don't want to miss it.
Hurry to Harvey Norman for a bonus towel pack on our great range of washing machines. That's right, a Canning Val towel pack valued at $79.95. This Fisher & Paykel fully featured 5.5 kg washer, now $699 plus bonus towel pack. A Hoover 7.5 kg washer with stainless steel wash bowl, $799 plus bonus towel pack. You also get the towel pack with this exclusive Ariston 5 kg front loader at $999. This bonus towel pack is for a limited time only.
If you're really into cricket, you don't just play it, you live it. Which bank understands? The Commonwealth Bank. With the Cricket Academy, we're helping young cricketers make it happen.
AFL, it's not a game, it's a way of life on C7 Sport. Every week we're setting up the biggest stars and the best showdowns right across the country. Off the field, we show you what's going on behind the scenes. Monday, 6:30 p.m, one-on-one takes you to the inner sanctum. 7:30, it's football feedback. Walls, Alves, Silvani, Connolly and Smith hitting the issues hard.
I would think that Dennis Pagan would get David King in this week and say, stop being a smart aleck.
They're intimidating. I've got no doubt we've gone into a couple of games this year where the mental attitude hasn't been right.
Thursday, 7:30 p.m, league teams with a difference with PD, Dakes and Harves.
If Dicky can maintain it, they're going to be a big team. They'll be pretty happy. They have a smile on their face.
Come home to AFL on C7 Sport.
Hawthorn and Richmond, that's our match. The Mitsubishi Motors match stats. Ian Robertson on Paul Couch.
Well, it's pretty even, the stats as you see, but inside 50, where Richmond have sort of struggled there with Evans playing a full forward. They've used James, he's been effective. Brendan Gale down there. They've had Nick Daffy in that third quarter was very good. He had 7 kicks and 4 handballs. They need to get more out of him. 1 goal. He's kicked 3 for the day. But it's pretty even. Centre breaks, Richmond have been very good there. They gave away a few when they went over the line a couple of times. Gave Hawthorn a couple of easy shots at goal and they scored. The ball's in dispute, very even efficiency. Robbo, just the scores, but the stats are pretty even.
Catchy, I was going to ask you, during the course of a quarter, and when Hawthorn got 4 goals in front, can you get a feeling that you're still able to get hold of the ball? I mean, halfway through the term, I had a quick look, and Richmond had
a bit of the ball.
A fair bit of the ball. Yeah. Can you still get a feeling when the other side is maybe getting on top of you that you're still in the game? I mean, you look at the scoreboard and it wasn't a big margin. It's not an impossible margin, but what's your feeling there?
Well, they really had to rely on individual efforts. Aaron Jones was missing a lot of easy shots. They went inside 50, so they had plenty of chances, Richmond. They just weren't making the most of it. And Daffy was very good, so it's still even.
Up to the senior players.
Up to the senior players, like in the individual efforts. Daffy, Campbell have really got to come into play there. They're a lot better around the ball, I believe, Richmond.
Oh, big punch by Salmon. Knocks it forward for Hawthorn inside their forward 50. Tawny's under pressure. Colic a good tackle. Dixon grabs the ball. A left foot snapper goal by Ben Dixon. Will go all the way. No, it won't. Desperate stuff by David Burke. He punches it clear for a boundary throw in.
Gee, that's inspirational, isn't it?
Well, they both had a hold of each other there. It was just a matter of Burke getting his arm free and punching the ball to the boundary line. Very well done.
Two terrific young players there. Trent Crode, David Burke, slightly more experienced, but both quite athletic in their efforts to get at that football. Brendan Gale, dispossessed, left it behind Barlow, and 3 or 4 players there. The front one, Craig Bitterscombe, but the umpire will bounce. Only a matter of 10, 15 metres away from the behind post, deep in Hawthorn's attacking area. Ben Holland up over the top, knocks the ball clear for a boundary throw in. Brendan Gale there on the scene. He is carrying a very heavy load, doing the ruck work, Brendan Gale. And right now, Ben Holland is back there trying to defend as well. 10-7 to 9-9. It is a 4-point margin in favour of the Hawks. And it looks as though this might be a thriller at the MCG. In Hawthorn, who were 10th coming in, playing Richmond, who had won their last 3 matches before this. So both teams really having a bit of a dip at it. They look as though they're going to be contenders at this early stage for positions in the final 8 after round 22. But this is an important game in round 11. Barlow, handball over the top. Campbell is gang tackled. Vandenberg gets the ball clear in towards centre half forward. Here's a chance again for Vandenberg. He got his boot to it. Half forward. Crow. Still Crow. Burke to apply the pressure. Still David Burke. Gets it clear. Brendan Gale. Oh, terrific stuff by Richard Taylor to dive in there. And at least keep it alive, and he's being penalised for throwing himself on the ball. And you wonder.
Gee, Hawthorn had a few chances there, Couch.
Yeah,
they had loose players. They just weren't spotted up and seen. But anyway, Richmond just so desperate back there. Chaffee, 4 points the margin to the Hawks. Onto the wing goes looking for Matthew Knights. Good probing kick too. Gets Knights.
He's got to use the ball there, he will.
He might go along to James, who's strong out of the lead. No, a couple of Hawthorn players back. Oh, Crawford had the ride, couldn't take it with him. Leckus under pressure. Bowden to get onto his left. No, he went back. Handball to Clinton King. Low pass is very good. And it's Callaway that takes the mark in the forward pocket. Andrew Callaway.
It's not a great kick, so we'll just see how we go. But good spot by Clinton King. He could have panicked and hit to the top of the square there, but he saw Andrew Callaway on his own. Bowden was very good, dodged and weaved and kept his feet in the contest, which really set it up. Now they've got an opportunity. Richard Hawthorn had 2.5 minutes of play up their forward line and didn't make the most of their chances.
Now this is interesting. I think Callaway is no certainty to make the distance. I know he should, but there's 2 Hawthorn players or 3 Hawthorn players to 1 Richmond player in the square in case he miskicks it. Won't matter.
What are you talking about?
Won't matter. He's put it through.
What are you talking about?
And the Tigers are back in front.
He wants your blood. He likes to talk to Couch as well.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just a small thing. It's just a small thing, but it doesn't matter now.
Within the last minute, he's improved his kicking out of sight.
Oh, yeah.
Just about near, just staying off the contest here, just smart work. Knows he's not going to get a chance here because there's 5 players in around it. And Callaway made the most of his chances. Goal.
There's a great kick, Callaway.
Well, Peter Schwab now, the pressure thrust back on the Hawthorn camp. Now, Richmond have kicked the last 4 goals of the game and they lead by 2 points. Their ascendancy at the centre bounces is not to be questioned, but the clearance has been affected by Joel Bowden, taken by Tony Woods, and he can't play on. The umpire was about to go back to that area where he took the mark and just guide him to kick over the man on the mark.
Well, Richard Taylor's been very quiet.
Still spotted a player on his own, out wide, and that is Bowyer.
And half of the just on ballers who just slowed up Hawthorn, not giving him the drive through the lines.
Bowyer is behind the wing.
Hawks have
10 possessions and taken 4 marks. On this occasion, decides to go long. Oh, nearly the mark. Well gathered by Hawthorn. Into the pocket. It might roll through for a goal. It may roll through. No, it doesn't. David Burke again getting back and forces a rush behind to the Hawks.
We come off halfway through the third quarter there, Harford. He just needs to get a bit more of the ball there. He's very dangerous. His use is very good. He's only had 13 possessions, but all of them have been very good, set up to play very well for Hawthorn in that second quarter when they led. He's just quietened off a bit. Richard Taylor's quietened off a fair bit. Actually, he had 13 possessions in that second quarter. He's only had 3 more, so he's been very quiet.
Pretty good zone by the Hawks here. Cameron got Tivendale in very close, and he's going to go longer. Benny Gale will be the target. Got a couple of players in support to Benny Gale. It was a good kick, and one of them was Ben Holland, who grabbed it and then just kicked it blindly pretty well onto the wing. If it gets out of bounds, it doesn't quite chick. Oh,
good tackle.
Yeah, it was a good tackle.
Yeah, Dragosevic has given a little bit since he's come on too. He's had 10 possessions halfway through that second quarter. He's just been very lively up forward. He's kept his feet on all occasions there. When he goes for it once, he keeps his feet, goes for the second effort. He's a very good little player.
Kicked a goal as well.
Yeah, he's been smart today.
The ball back over the line and out of bounds. I think Craig Bitterscombe it was, got completely ridden into the ground by Paul Salmon, who would have said, "What on earth are you doing there, son? Get out of my road, I'm in the ruck." Gale and Salmon will go again. Woods with the job on Matthew Knights. Vandenberg match up now on Daffy. Crawford being watched by Bitterscombe, the player we talked about. Not being watched closely enough, though. It's a great knock, wasn't it? Woods gets them to half forward. Bouncing ball, fluky one. Well done, Tawney, but now he's got to get rid of it. Gee. And they point to the pocket and say, "What about 10 minutes ago?"
Oh, they've argued the point and got a free kick against him, have they?
No. Brett Allen deciding that he'll bounce it. He did pull it down. He fell over.
He didn't dive on it.
Yeah, he didn't dive on it. Yeah.
Good decision.
And they do give more space and latitude to the player that pulls it down from the top rather than diving on top and dragging it under. Vandenberg, his jumper was being held by Daffy. G. Crawford just threw himself at it. Desperation stakes from both teams. And also the class will show out. Callaway was going to be run down. Gee, surprising decision to play on in that situation. Now Bitterscombe, quick kick out wide into the space. He would be happy to see it go out of bounds. Colliker leads the way in defence for the Hawks and takes it over the line and out of bounds. So a pretty fair result for both teams. 10-9-69 the Tigers, 10-8-68 the Hawks. They led by 4 goals during the third quarter. Duncan Callaway off and apparently fairly serious, or possibly seriously injured. We certainly hope not, but certainly not playing for the rest of the day. So great fight by the Tigers to get back in this position. But the Hawks, of course, are a pretty decent side, as we've seen in recent weeks. And they are also right in this contest, trailing by a point.
Duncan Callaway. We saw him hurt earlier in the game, and it looks as though if he hasn't come back on the ground, there could be something serious wrong with him.
14.5 minutes remaining in this last quarter in the match. Bowden kept it alive. Oh, Salmon handball went nowhere except to Clinton King. Looped it over the top. Tivendale. Bitterscombe usually kicks reasonably well. Just started it out too far to the right.
Oh, you want someone here?
No, it was just. I thought it was going to bend and go in, but it didn't sway there.
Thought you were riding it home there as if you're on him.
Is that another Richmond player? Is that Bowden's in trouble now?
Oh, gee whiz.
It hurt his knee, I think. I hope. Oh, no, he is in bad. Oh, dear. They are going down one after another here. Oh, that's a little dangerous. Well done, Tawney. Got away, but a wobbly old kick. Tough for the forwards, that sort of
Great gather. Great gather by the Hawks.
Poor handball.
Just kick it long and direct to your forwards.
And that's a great kick out into space. Andrew Callaway.
Turnover in the middle, costly for Hawthorn.
Yeah, should have kicked long to the square.
Oh, it's not a great kick for Aaron James. He fought really well. Holland's kick into the square. And there's a mark taken pretty safely in the end by McKay.
And the Hawks may go down the ground here. They've got 4-on-2 out on that far side. It's with Bowyer. Bowyer's kick a little short. Andrew Callaway and Richard Taylor. Andrew Callaway plays the percentages. Caught. Hand pass away. Now Tallis. Hand pass. Richard Taylor. Wider to Graham. Off his unnatural side, the right. In towards the middle. Nick Holland. Chance here for Cameron, handball.
Bowden's up and walking, by the way.
Ben Holland to Chaffee. Chaffee off that left foot into the pocket. Good kick. Made it extremely difficult for Rawlings because the kick was always out to the left there, or out to the right, should I say, of Aaron James. We're watching Joel Bowden with Chris Bradshaw.
Yeah,
Short kick is all right, and Leon Cameron has marked.
He's had 24 possessions today, Joel Bowden. He's been a star again. 32 last week, 24 this week, 18 kicks, 6 handballs. Daffy's been good. Campbell's got a lot of the ball. Just a Chaffee, he gets a lot of the ball off the half-back flanks. Only had 12 possessions, but his use is very, very good.
He's had a bit more lately too,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't have much in the first half, but the second half he's got involved.
What do you think here for Leon Cameron Couchy? Can he make it?
A bit too far. Robbo thinks straight
well,
through.
I think he's a very good kicker of the football, Leon Cameron, and you never doubt him no matter where he's kicking it from. It's gone all the way to the line, and you were the better judge there, Couchy, because right on the goal line it was helped over for a rush behind to the Tigers.
It was one of those ones where
he's not a big kick.
He would have had to really nail it to get it, so he probably should have set it up.
It is the last quarter, tired legs.
Yeah, but still, if he had have nailed the goal, the momentum and the fact that they would have gone to 8 points would have been worth it. The ball out wide. Andrew Callaway tried to make the spoil lick. It's now a chance for Hawks because it does open up for Graham. Got a couple of players inboard, but he goes longer into the pocket. Dixon on his wrong side. Off the right boot. Benny Dixon, no. Kicks are behind.
Yet to kick a goal, Ben Dixon.
10-9-69 to 10-11-71. Dixon's afternoon. 8 kicks, 2 handballs, 4 marks. He's kicked 2 behinds. Quickly they bring it back into play, and Tawney it is that takes the mark and wants to run on because he spotted, I think it's Tivendale on the wing, who takes the mark, looks up. Oh, now going to have to come back.
And maybe that game last week against West Coast Hawthorn, the travelling does take it out of you a bit in this last quarter. They look a little bit tired and lethargic.
What did he come back there for?
I'm not sure. No one seems to really know. Oh, Tivendale, a very low kick in the Knights' direction. Did that well to Fiora.
Oh, that's around the neck.
Yeah, it is around the neck. He had Vandermeer right on top of him. So we've got 11 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this match. Tigers hanging on to a 2-point lead. The kick in the direction of Callaway. Play on advantage. Yes, it should be. It's a goal.
It's a sausage roll.
Rogers kicks the goal. And what an inspirational performance by the Tigers. They are dropping down. Injury-wise, they've lost Callaway and now Bowden. But they have fought on. They were 4 goals down. And now the margin to their favour is 8 points. And Matthew Rogers kicks a terrific goal, but very almost. In fact, I think it's in Perth, isn't it, where they got the fatter bits of stuff around the goalpost.
The wrapping.
And that would have been a point there.
Well, Peter Schwab, it wasn't that long ago that his team enjoyed a 23-point advantage. About 15, 17 minutes into the third quarter. And it's been all Richmond since then. They've kicked 5 unanswered goals. The Hawks were 10 goals about 17 minutes into the third term. Crawford just handballs it instinctively forward. Dixon, go on, Couchy, sorry.
Struggling a bit with his decision-making today. Just know whether to kick or handball.
41,000 people at the MCG.
Oh, great
top effort, Andrew Callaway in front of Mark Graham.
He's been good since moved to the half-forward line. Just his marking skill and ability in the forward 50, that's what they've lacked Richmond today, and he's just been very handy in this last quarter.
And very much a part of that forward play, but Nick Daffy's kick has been marked by Salmon. Now there's some urgency on the faces and the play of the Hawks. Jade Rawlings, couple of bounces. He's going to be forced to kick with the left. He may have coughed it up. Contest on centre wing, Harford. Taylor tackled, got the handball away. Umpire sees it as all clear. Still Richard Taylor, well done Vardy. Knights caught with the ball. Got the hand pass away to Bitterscombe. King, centre wing, short kick all right. May just give them a chance to settle. Fiora moves it forward. And Aaron James. He's growing with confidence, Aaron James. He's taken 5 marks now, 13 kicks.
Gee, Hawthorn have pushed a lot of players back.
Yeah. Aaron Fiora's the one.
James kicks the ball to the front of the square. Spills to the ground level. Bowyer got a little bit of space, then forced to scramble the kick. And, of course, it's errant and King has marked.
Should be more desperate to get to the boundary line there. Just coughed it up in through the corridor there, and Richmond players were back. Hawthorn have pushed all their players up forward.
Cameron takes the hand pass. Tries to kick a goal, but he's coughed it up. Dixon off the right, goes short. 2-on-1. Still a contest. And Hawks get there in numbers. Barlow in towards half forward. Thompson falls over. Well done, Vardy. Knights trying to set up the play across that centre line. Bitterscombe goes long. Brendan Gale a certainty. Not the mark. It's a free kick. Is it a play on circumstance? It is. Short kick by Daffy. Aaron James gathers, then gets it back to Daffy. Nick Daffy into the pocket. Not too bad, and a good mark. Kick. Excellent mark taken by Rogers.
Great mark. Desperation by Andrew Rogers. Just rolled his body there to protect Chick from punching the ball there. It was good work. And he kicked the goal here in similar circumstances just before, but it went along the ground. He's got to kick it in the air now. But James has battled hard in the second half, been very good. Daffy's been good also. They've just lifted their work rate. The half-back line's been good. But the decision-making and turnovers, field kicking through the midfield from Hawthorn's cost him dearly.
Well, it's an 8-point advantage to the Tigers. It could blow out to 14 if he can kick accurately. I think he's missed everything. No, umpires decided that's a point as well. So Matthew Rogers, 2 goals, 2 against his name. 9 points is the advantage for Richmond with 8 minutes left in the match.
Well, you'd think Hawthorn would come again and just give them something, one last gasp. Still 8 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time. Dixon right up against the boundary.
Just not a good turnover. It's been costly.
Yeah, they've broken down. I mean, Gale's been really crucial, both coming in and going out. And that's a pretty good kick too. Aaron James, who has presented himself well today. This is where they can't afford to blast along, or gee, they have to be precise, and they were. Daffy.
But Hutto, the field kicking's been terrible for Hawthorn this last quarter.
Rogers is the man. And he almost took it. Was it too high? It was. Wasn't he through? Was he over the line or not?
I think it's still a free kick if you hit him over the head, so the decision's been made. But just their field kicking, Hawthorn in this last quarter and a bit, it's been very, very sloppy. Crawford's decision-making is just lacking a little bit of confidence with a handball or kick long, just in through the square there. It's a turnover, just too many turnovers in this last quarter. It's cost him.
So this will be criminal for the Hawks if Matthew Rogers can convert.
What does he do here? Have a shot? He's going to have a shot. And, it's a poster. Well, a goal there would have taken the margin out to 15 points, and it almost would have been beyond Hawthorn, but as it is now, 10 points, and there's plenty of time.
You made an interesting point in that Hawthorn, the first 2.5 minutes of the quarter, across their half forward, and couldn't get anything out of it.
And Richmond went down and kicked a goal.
Look at these possessions, 39 to Hawthorn, 60 in this last quarter so far to Richmond. They've got it again too. Kick forward by Tivendale. Inside the forward 50. As a matter of fact, it's only about 20 metres from the Richmond goal where Jade Rawlings has taken the mark. He looks to play on. They've got no one running. On this occasion, Nick Holland has. In support is Tony Woods. Back onto the right, kicks into the centre. Now they've got a chance. Salmon goes wide, very wide. Looking out there for Thompson. Can't take the mark. Crawford will get a goal though. Shane Crawford, no. Kick goes very wide and through for a behind.
He's had 6s and 7s, Shane Crawford. He's missed a lot of footy, just under pressure. That's what happens when you missed a lot of footy. Decisions just go out the window.
Could have nearly straightened up maybe and got back onto his right.
Yeah, when you haven't played a lot of footy, you think you're under pressure all the time. That's what he's done today. That's why some of his decisions haven't been good in this last quarter. Just a little bit more footy, a bit more confidence, he would have kicked that.
Well, that stat does show a lot, doesn't it? Shows the dominance of Richmond in this last quarter, but they haven't been able to convert. They lead by 9 points, though. Will it be enough? 6 minutes remaining. They've lost Bowden, they've lost Callaway. Burke will have to be fantastic here. He's spoiled, which was the right decision, because Campbell at the back feeds Knights, waited for it to bounce, and therefore he went back and did the U-turn and spotted a couple of Tigers inboard. One of them was Daffy, who's worked really hard this afternoon. No one on the mark. Good shepherding. Nick could line them up. Went off off his left. Interesting decision. Probably the wrong one in the end. Behind. He can kick with both feet. But I reckon he had time to get onto his right boot then, Couchy, and really straighten up from 50.
He did have the chance to square up, but he had no one to kick to because the Hawthorn defenders had all pushed back on that last line. So he either kicked the goal or went straight to a Hawthorn player.
Bowyer goes very long. Out there is Graham. He couldn't control it. Leon Cameron there to just make a presence on behalf of the Tigers and force a boundary throw in.
Sums it up for Hawthorn, that doesn't it?
Just the turnovers, just costly. They've been very sloppy. Look very lethargic now. Richmond have just lifted. No, they've got their chance here.
33-point turnaround since halfway through the third quarter when Hawthorn led by 23. Richmond now lead by 10. Leon Cameron kicks in towards half forward. Good mark taken by Daniel Chick at half back for the Hawks. Can they come back? They must get a goal fairly soon because time is on the wing. Tivendale has marked the kick. 5 minutes left. Tivendale has possession for Richmond.
Look at Fiora.
Kicks in towards full forward. No mark, the spillage. Rogers. No, he can't quite keep it alive there for James. So it'll be thrown in left forward pocket for the Tigers.
Well, it's a disappointing loss for Hawthorn because they had every opportunity just to nail this game and they just haven't done it.
They haven't lost yet, Couchy. Still plenty of time for them. They don't look like getting a goal at the moment, but things can change quickly. They just need to get it forward. Still 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Nick Holland. Interesting way of bringing the ball into attack. But Benny Gale has just pushed back and been that every time they've tried to bring the ball forward. Benny Gale has been that loose man, and he's just put his big frame in the road and tried to block any path they've had to goal. 10-point lead to Richmond. What a performance by the Tigers so far. They haven't finished the Hawks off just yet. Holland gets in front. And that was Nick Holland. Of course, his brother Ben playing for Richmond this afternoon. And I reckon Ben Holland in this second half has been fantastic, Couch. And I mean, he was reasonable in the first half, but he's just worked really hard. Not a glamorous performance, but 7 marks, 16 possessions, a couple of tackles. Works really hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he works hard. He's had seven marks you spoke about. He's presented himself all day. They've been short with Ottens, and him and Brendan Gale have been very good. They're two tools where the Hawthorn tools were very good in the first half, where they've just struggled in the second half. Just the ball coming down, though. The half-back line and the last line, the back line of Hawthorn was sensational. You know, bringing the ball through, not making mistakes, but their turnovers in this last quarter and a bit have been very, very costly.
Tigers would do well to just bottle it up here. Still 4 minutes to go, though. They can't be too defensive. Tawney goes for the boundary line and didn't get it. Vandenberg kept it in. Got it to half forward, so it opens up. Holland. Dixon leads out. Thompson's down there as well, doubling back. Goes short and gets Lekas in the pocket, tight angle.
Kicked the goal from the identical same position in the second term.
And you talked about it too, Hutto. Just going defensive too early, it can cost you the game. Like he should have kept the ball in play then, the Richmond player. Didn't do that, went to the defensive and got the Hawthorn into attack.
Well, a goal here and they'd have 3 whole minutes to kick another one to be in front at the end. But it's not going to be a goal. And Benny Gale again involved. They're behind on the board, so it's 9 points the difference. 10-11-71. 11-14-80. Richmond by 9 points at the MCG. A cold day. The rain cleared. We haven't had too much rain during actual play. It made it pretty messy in the first quarter, but since then the conditions have been pretty good.
When we spoke earlier and I asked you what sort of a goal tally would win the game, you mentioned about 15. It looks like being less, doesn't it?
Yeah, 12. Just because they've had that loose man in defence all the time, both sides, so it's made it hard to kick goals.
The kick in. The Hawks have kept possession here. Salmon to Joel Smith. Joel Smith in short, yes. He's got another chance, Angelo.
He played on.
Did he go over the mark?
I think so.
I thought that was a judgment that you had to make. Dixon, left foot kick. Vardy scrambles it out wide, and the Tigers out of trouble. Chaffee has the ball. Chaffee goes towards half forward. Dragosevic and Tallis. Knights there for Richmond. And the Tigers playing confident.
Well, Chaffee's lifted in this second half. In the first half, he only had three kicks and 3 handballs. He's had 10 possessions in the second half, so he's been a real difference. Also, Nick Daffy's been sensational, having 16 possessions after half-time.
We'll come back to that tackle when we can. I'm not sure that he did go over the mark. that Lekis one, because it could have been crucial.
He went off the line.
Did he go off the line?
He went off the line and played on. Definitely went off the line. You can't go off, deviate off the line. He did that.
I'd like to have another look at it, just to see, but we'll get to that if we can. 9 points the difference, though. Tigers hanging on. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Salmon tapped it down. Hawthorn needs something inspirational if they're to get up and win. Daffy has been pretty inspirational for the Tigers. Kicked it high inside 50. James is down there pushing and shoving, clearing the path. Got the handball out, Rogers. Fiora just couldn't quite get it. Now they're away, or are they? McCabe, floating hand pass, a good one through the middle. Good setup from Bowyer. Rawlings was great early, goes long. Oh, Dixon wanted a free, he's got it. Oh, he arched his back and dived forward and got a free kick.
What a shocking free kick that was. If Ben Dixon sees this again, he will be ashamed, I reckon, of the way he's thrown himself forward.
Yeah, we just showed it on the big screen there. Oh.
That is unbelievable.
Well, it's crucial too.
Look where the umpire was. 4 yards away, 4 metres away.
Well, what a kick for Ben Dixon with 1:43 remaining to bring them back within 3 points from outside 50. It's strong, it's long, and it's home. Oh, what a decision. What a crucial decision. 3 points the difference. What a finish we've got at the MCG. 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining. Richmond by 3 points.
Don't look at the big screen. No. This is the best Academy Award we've ever seen. The umpire was right there. That's the... Oh, no, he's got excited too, the umpire. In the back with a minute and a half to go. Oh, terrible decision.
Well, Ben Dixon was given a free kick there, Couchy, and honestly...
Academy Award, the umpire got too excited.
If this decides the match, if that decision has anything to do, if Hawthorn get up, I mean, you wonder, don't you?
Oh, you feel like you've been robbed. That's what happens.
Salmon doing the ruck work. Campbell gets the clearance. Important possession here. Hawthorn will gather the ball. Now, really, they must keep possession of the ball.
Can't afford to turn it over.
They have to score a goal, don't they, to win the game. So you'd reckon if Richmond can get hold of it, they might be able to hang on. Burke from behind, but Brendan Gale again.
Sensational.
Standing tall in front of the pack.
He's got the old limp at this time. Good time for it too.
Down close to a minute now left in the game. And Richmond, after trailing halfway through the third term by 23, lead by 3. Can they hang on?
They're going to play this in the short stuff. They might as well with a minute to go. As long as they...
Down to a minute, under a minute now. Precious seconds ticking away. Now the umpire should force him to kick the ball. He has gone in there and officiated. So Leon Cameron kicks it back towards the wing. Richmond will hang on. Andrew Callaway has marked.
Yeah, it's been a good move to put Andrew Callaway up forward. He's taken a couple of marks vital in this last quarter.
He might as well hang on to it until the umpire goes in and tells him to kick it.
He might as well. He
seconds going.
Doesn't know there's only 30 seconds to go, but...
Well, Andrew Callaway has the football. Importantly, Hawthorn have to get it back, and they're not going to get it there either because Leon Cameron has marked. And this will be the last roll of the dice.
Andrew Callaway's had 5 marks in this last quarter. He's been pushed forward, 7 possessions, been sensational, kicked a goal.
All over Red Rover for Hawthorn because Leon Cameron kicks it back to Ben Holland. All the way down now to the final siren, and what a great win it's been for Richmond.
Yes.
What a sensational victory for the Tigers. They were down, not down and out, but the scoreboard indicated that they were in all sorts of trouble halfway through the third term, and that is the sort of thing that good sides are made of, coming from 23 points in arrears when scores were not all that high in this match, just 22 goals kicked. Richmond have hit back and kicked 5 goals to 1 to win by 3 points. 11-14-80, Hawthorn 11-11-77, and a tremendous victory to the Tigers.
Oh, what a gutsy win by Richmond. What an absolutely amazing performance. And Danny Frawley he must be pretty emotional at the moment. Cool. That was a really amazing performance. They lost their key on-baller in terms of shutting down an opposition player in Duncan Callaway, who's been magnificent for them all year. During the second quarter, he'd been doing a reasonable job on half, but there's Matty Richardson, of course, one of the many stars not playing, and when you add Gaspar to that list, and of course Ottens, who they really missed all day. They almost had the game taken away from them when Dixon had the shot at goal near the end. But they hung on, they hung tough. They lost Joel Bowden late as well, which didn't make it any easier. But they've got the points, and unbelievably, they are 7-4 at the halfway mark. And who would have thought that after the pretty average start they had to the season? But the Tigers, despite all their injuries, have got home by 3 points here today, Robbo.
Yeah, I guess they had to bite the bullet and make a tough decision, didn't they, off the field with the young fella. And wouldn't he have been handy in a tight finish like that? But the others have, I mean, you put a little bit of pressure on the other players that are able to go out there and represent you. And they stood tall. I mean, there's a lot of reasons as to why maybe they could have just fallen by the wayside, because the Hawks threw everything at them in the third quarter. But by gee, they showed some character.
A bit of blow for the Hawks. As you said,
yep,
led by 4 goals. 5-5 going into today. Their form, apart from last week against West Coast, have been really good lately. And they would have fancied themselves, no doubt about that, against Richmond this afternoon. And when they were 4 goals up and looked like they were going to win the match, I'm not really sure what happened. I mean, Richmond had plenty of the ball. We talked about that. Probably hadn't used it that well, but they turned it around. And Aaron James, he put in a really gutsy performance. His kicking was dreadful in front of goal, but he presented himself so well. And the Tigers, they all worked hard. And the yellow and black out in force at the moment. Flags everywhere around the ground. Matty Knights leads them off. Tremendous performance by the Tigers after they were level at quarter time. They trailed at half-time by 6 points, 5 points at three-quarter time. But Danny Frawley has led them home, 11-14-80 to 11-11-77.
This has been a C7 Sport presentation.